Yes, sir. We about to go live, tribe. Let me get some money bags in the chat. Let's get it. Welcome back. Welcome back. Wait, where my shit at? Okay. We in here. Welcome back, tribe. This is Context Matters, episode 36. And I'm officially live. It's a little different because it's Monday night and it's not Sunday. But nonetheless, Context Matters is officially back live at 8:15. See? So I was trying to wait to go live when this nigga here. Anyways, welcome in, tribe. Welcome in. How are we feeling this good evening? Hey, man, shut that shit up. See what you got to deal with when you got these loud-ass kids? Welcome back, tribe. I do appreciate everybody tuning in bright and early on this good Monday evening. Well, early for me, but we are here in effect. I decided that I didn't want to miss my stream for the week. I've been on this stream streak, for lack of better words, where I haven't missed a stream in the last month. So I just wanted to keep up with that same energy. Let my people come kick it with me on a Monday night, which is different. I don't think I've ever been live on a Monday. Much different than what I'm used to. Nonetheless, you kicking off the week. Everybody's in their own little world, trying to get back into the groove of things. It is 8:15 Central Time, 9:15 on the East Coast, 6:15 on the West Side. And I just wanted to come have a good time with y'all tonight, tribe. Honestly, I didn't want to put too much stress and pressure on what we was doing tonight just because it's not my normal night. But I definitely, as this nigga won't shut up. Simon, shut up. I didn't want to put no extra stress on what we doing tonight. But there are some things I have on this list that we need to discuss this evening, including what we just came off of and the reason why I am missing the stream. Or the reason why I missed the stream yesterday was because of the Super Bowl, as everyone knows. And yeah, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss nothing for the week, and I showed my face. At this point, I'm really all about this consistency kick, because me last year, hold on, I'm sending over some stuff to the email so I know what we talking about. Me last year, honestly, tribe, I probably would have been like, Sunday I didn't go live, so I'm not gonna go live this week. I'm just gonna skip it for the week and bounce back next Sunday. But, I'm like, you know what? I ain't got shit to do. We got a lot of things that can be discussed, a lot of things that y'all probably want to talk about. Y'all see I got my Dreamville shirt on today. You know what I mean? I had to go ahead and rep for my young Dreamville god, J. Cole. So I know a lot of people want to give their feedback and opinions on the album. So I'm like, let me not wait Let me not wait a whole nother week to kind of get in here and get things moving and grooving in this field of reactions and commentary and opinions and feedback. But yeah, nonetheless, shout out to the 25 of y'all that done clicked in. Thank you for joining me on a Monday night. I know it's different seeing me tonight, but like I was just saying, Sunday was busy for everybody. I was still gonna go live after the Super Bowl last night, but my family was in town. My dad and my stepmom was in town visiting, so we watched the Super Bowl, played some games, kicked it with my niece and nephew, my brother-in-law, my sister, and did what everybody typically does on a Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday: eat, watch the game, chill, play games, do the whole thing. So I decided not to go live last night, but anyway, here we are live on Monday night. So make sure if y'all tuned in right now, y'all click the like. We need to get them likes up and that engagement up. Shout out to my peoples in the chat. Slitherman3205, Stoner Committee, Dishonors World, 7 is in here, of course. Mac Wop, he just checked in early with me. I had to tap in with Mac Wop tonight because I thought he was going live. So I'm like, what time you getting off? I'm going to go after you stream. You know what I mean? So we not jocking for, live stream position. I know he going to always do his shit with his numbers. But nonetheless, I know he draws a good crowd. So I want to let him get his off tonight, and then I was going to go live. But nonetheless, he didn't do it. So here we are. We sticking with it. You know what I mean? Who else we got in the chat? Let's see. Vinny in the chat, of course. Cameron Lang. Smoke That Smoke. The Yellow Boy. Okay, I got some people tuning in. But how we feeling, tribe? What's new in the world? Did y'all enjoy the Super Bowl last night? Let me ask y'all that. While we warm the chat up. Did y'all actually even enjoy the Super Bowl? And I'm gonna give my takes on the Super Bowl and my review of the entire game, the halftime show. But I want to know how y'all feel about it before I really dive in and give my critical take. Wop, what's good, man? Miss Moneybags just popped back in. Yeah. Oh, shit, I got to pull up my info real quick. But what's been going on in the world? Y'all see the title of this stream is called The Fall Off Should Be Studied. Now, before y'all start popping y'all shit about the Cole album, we going to take a minute, let the chat warm up before we really get into the Cole album. Because I know a lot of people are curious what I have to say about it. But yeah, we're going to stick with the Super Bowl. That's what we starting off with. Super Bowl 60. Super Bowl 60 went off, and I'm not going to lie, that shit was boring than a bitch. Let's just get to that. My opinion is that I haven't seen an exciting Super Bowl in a while. I'm not a huge football fan to begin with, just being completely honest with y'all. I'm not a huge football fan. I'm a basketball fan, and the Laker game will be on tonight. I wonder if I can pull that up on stream while we on here. That might be dope. That might actually be dope. But yeah, I'm not a huge Super Bowl fan. I mean, a huge football fan. But I will tune into the playoffs and the Super Bowl when that shit get really interesting and is actually worth watching and people are playing for something. If not, throughout the regular year, I don't really watch too much football. But I'm not gonna lie, man, that shit was a little boring to me. I fell asleep. My girl fell asleep in the first half. It was no super excitement. The first drive of the game was actually pretty exciting. You know what I mean? I think that's maybe just the hype of it being a Super Bowl. But the Seahawks was throwing the ball, getting big run plays. Crowd was into it. But eventually, once it became a punt game and they just punting back and forth, and ain't nobody scoring touchdowns, you got first three scores was field goals, which it just dried the game out. If I was somebody who purchased tickets to go to that shit and I spent thousands of dollars trying to watch the game, even if it was my team or not, I would have been highly disappointed of being there. And also, too, man, I feel like I came from an era of when I grew up watching the Super Bowl. Like, you watched for the game, but you also watched for the commercials. The commercials was ass. The game was ass. It just really wasn't no super excitement to me. It wasn't no super excitement. It wasn't enough to keep me engaged and be excited about the game. Like I said, I took me a little mini nap in the second quarter, and then I woke back up to the halftime show. I woke up, and the halftime show was on or about to come on, so I was able to catch that. But up until then, the commercials was weak. The game was weak. I didn't see much excitement or much that was really worth watching it for. And I'm let down, man, because the Super Bowl is considered the biggest sporting event in the United States. And I feel like that shit has just not been exciting. It ain't been exciting. The pre-shows, the game itself, who's playing in the game, the halftime shows have been lackluster, in my opinion. So I just kind of like, we not living up to the hype, man. We not living up to the hype as a country for the Super Bowl. I'm just being honest with you. But yeah, so I got into it, I woke up and I got into the halftime show. Now, I don't want to be extra controversial. I don't want to be the one who's like a hater or the person who just like, I don't even know the word I'm looking for. I don't want to be the person that like finds some reason to down talk everything, especially when it's a huge accomplishment for somebody like Bad Bunny to perform at the Super Bowl. But I personally, maybe it's because I don't speak Spanish, I personally didn't. Charles Oakley, what's the word? That's cap. That's cap. That shit was boring too. But look, I don't want to be the one to like just be a negative Nancy type nigga and criticize it. But the Super Bowl halftime show wasn't for me. And I think as you get older and you mature, you realize that not everything is for you. And you gotta still find the shining light or the positives in things that aren't for you. I don't want to just be the old nigga who's like, oh, everything is whack just because I'm old, or this doesn't sound like it used to, or it's not the same representation it used to be. But again, I don't know if it's because I don't speak Spanish or if it's because I guess I don't know if it was that, but even the visuals of it and all that. Let me see if I have. Oh, I didn't even blink it. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know. Honestly, bro, I don't know. Did the NFL do the right thing by putting Bad Bunny as the halftime show? Now, I know we live in a country where a lot of people do speak Spanish. There's a high Latino, Mexican, Hispanic population in this country. But I just don't know if that was the right choice. I'm going to keep it a bean with y'all. There was some good visual representations of Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans, and it has its positive imagery that it put out, and everybody that does the Super Bowl tends to try to do it and make sure that they leave a visual representation of their culture. Shout out to Dot for doing it. Shout out to Bad Bunny for doing it. And this country does have a high Hispanic rate. Even though Puerto Rico is a part of the continental United States, a lot of people, I feel like, in this country didn't really resonate with the Super Bowl or the halftime show. And I don't know why the Super Bowl was okay with a full Spanish Super Bowl performance. I feel like it should have been mixed in with some English so that people that don't speak Spanish are able to resonate with it and let it give more of a positive impact. But dog, doing the whole Super Bowl in Spanish to me was this. It made everybody feel like, at least in my consensus from what I've seen, it made everybody feel like it was a waste of a Super Bowl halftime performance. Because you got the demographic that does speak Spanish that's able to understand what he's saying, but they was even walking around doing interviews saying like, asking the players, asking staff, what's your favorite Bad Bunny song? And nobody could even answer the question. Nobody could even answer the question of what their favorite Bad Bunny song was, if they even knew any Bad Bunny songs. And to be honest with you, I have never heard a Bad Bunny song. I've heard him featured on some other like with some hip hop artists, but I've never heard a Bad Bunny song. So, and I'm kind of hip, you know what I mean? I'm kind of in tune with music culture and what's going on in the urban community. I guess you can put him in that same category. Have I've never heard a Bad Bunny song. None of the players have heard Bad Bunny songs. What makes you think the average consumer of the Super Bowl is gonna be able to have heard some Bad Bunny songs enough to vibe with it? The production was fire. You know what I mean? Like the imagery, his beats sound good. Honestly, it sounded like every song sounded the same to me. And this is me just giving my opinion. I'm not here to, like I said, to bash it. I'm just giving my overall opinion of the show. You know that the Super Bowl is consumed by a lot of white people in this country. A lot of Americans. And I don't mean that in a way of people that speak Spanish aren't American, but a lot of people that English is their first language. A lot of Americans who don't understand Spanish. And yet he was chosen to perform there in front of a huge white demographic. And I just want to pull up this video real quick because even this person says right here, I'm not hating on Bad Bunny at all, just sharing what I actually saw from where I was sitting. The media said the stadium went crazy, but my section was pretty chill. Media narrative versus real life experience don't always match, which is why you can hardly trust it. What were your thoughts on the show? So look at the reaction to... I'm going to read the comments in the chat in a second. Shout out to y'all for engaging. Keep it up because I do want to go back and read y'all opinion on this because I was torn. I was torn between knowing good music and vibes and cultural impact versus something that was meant to be at a Super Bowl halftime show. You're coming off Kendrick, who had a crazy halftime show, which I'm sure a lot of these same white people that are watching the Super Bowl had the same opinion on Kendrick's show. They didn't understand it, but at least it was in English. You know what I mean? At least it was in English. But this was the reaction from where people were sitting during his show. And you can tell from the stage setup on the field that it didn't have the same impact in the stadium that it did when you watch it on TV. Now, I know the Super Bowl, you got 60, 70,000 people in the stands and 150 million people watching at home. So a lot of the production and the stage setup and the visual representation of the halftime show is done for the audience at home. But you also got to realize you got people in here watching. It wasn't even on the little Jumbotron. Look, check this out. You don't even see nobody moving. I know this is this one perspective. Bro, it didn't even sound good. I'm going to keep it a bean. The only thing I kept hearing Bad Bunny say was, I'm not going to imitate Spanish because I'm not here to disrespect anybody who speaks Spanish. Again, this is nothing against Spanish culture or heritage. But all I heard him keep saying was, and the people in the crowd here don't even they can't even see what he's doing. It wasn't on the Jumbotron. You got niggas come back with food. Look, the Jumbotron is right here and it's not showing. It was flashing words the whole time. It wasn't even showing what they see on the field. Look how small the field is. And this is what the entire representation was. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the halftime show. That's not solely because of it being Bad Bunny, but if you can't understand it, how can you relate to it? You know what I mean? I just don't. It's just my take on it. Let me see what y'all got to say. Super Bowl performance was trash. Black power. Walk the walk. You crazy. It don't really got nothing to do with race because at the end of the day, we all both cultures are minorities. There shouldn't be any separation between it. But I feel like he should have performed in English. I don't know if he has English songs. I don't know if he's able to translate the Spanish songs into English. But it just didn't resonate with most of the consumers. So I've seen people, again, a lot of Hispanic people said it was the greatest halftime show they've ever seen, which I call super cap on, because there's no way, even with the production and the imagery, I don't see how that's the case. But again, maybe I just can't relate. Seven said it was trash for sure. I'm not familiar with hustle music, so I don't care to watch it. I don't move off popular decisions. I move off my merits. That's what Farrah Banner said. Elaborate on that a little bit, bro. His music is meant. I was working all yesterday, so fuck the Super Bowl. Stet, your word ain't bond out here. Bad Bunny's numbers is undeniable. Same as Kendrick. Stop being simple-minded. See, Charles Oakley, it's not about numbers, bro. I've always been one to advocate this for almost everything in life. Numbers don't equate talent. I'm not saying Bad Bunny's not talented, because I don't even understand what he's saying and I haven't heard his discography. But presentation is everything, bro. Like, it takes more than just to be highest selling numbers. You got to understand, there's a lot of people who speak Spanish in the world. So just because you have a lot of people who speak Spanish and they consume a Spanish speaker's music, that doesn't necessarily mean it's great. It just means they want to consume what they understand. It's just like in the black culture, in the black community, in hip hop. There's a lot of people with a lot of numbers, but there's a lot of people in that culture that want to consume what they can relate to. It doesn't necessarily mean that the music is good. Look at NBA YoungBoy, for example. He's got all these high streaming numbers, but there's no talent. There's no good music. There's no like, they don't correlate. You know what I mean? You have the people who consume what they consume in their pocket, in their genre, to bring up big numbers. But to me, numbers don't equate talent. I've been saying this. I said it when I was on the other platform. I said it in my cipher. I said it to them niggas. Like, just because you have more numbers does not mean you're good at what you do. Popularity controls the music industry. Popularity controls consumption. We live in a brain dead community, a culture in which things that are trendy become consumed at a high rate. That doesn't mean they're good. It doesn't mean they're good. And this is just my opinion. I think Bad Bunny obviously has some talent. But to your point saying his numbers are undeniable, same as Kendrick, stop being simple-minded. So let me ask you this. Just because somebody's numbers are through the roof, that means that I can switch back from this. Just because somebody's numbers are through the roof, that means I have to agree and think it's good? I've never had a follower sheep mindset to where just because the popular opinion of something is loud, that I have to agree with the popular opinion. You know what I mean? I've always been a black sheep type person where it's like, I'm not going to follow the trends and the waves of culture and society, because people are followers. People are followers that don't think for themselves. We live in an era of social media in which whatever's on your timeline is consumed the most is deemed popular. So let me jump on this train or this bandwagon. So I don't agree. You can have a lot of numbers, but is it resonating? Think about even with Kendrick, the Kendrick move. Kendrick has high numbers, right? He's crossover, he's talented, obviously, whatever in his pocket, but translating to the mainstream American media and mainstream Super Bowl consumers, they don't really align with that type of music. Even though they have high numbers, they don't really align with that sound. Now, does that mean the NFL should not put them on there? No, they should have a outlet, but I don't think we should judge it based off of numbers. You know what I'm saying? Numbers don't equate crossover consumption, across the board. I know the people at Hustle Music, been to a few of their events. What's Hustle Music? I was working all yesterday, fuck the Super Bowl. Osvaldo says, I don't even like Bad Bunny, not gonna lie. It was more of the message. Now, see, I agree with that. Let me see. Let me pull up. I did have something pulled up. Damn, of course I closed it. Now, I will say, I'm all for message music. I'm all for messaging. I'm all for deciphering messages. I'm all for, hidden meanings and all that good stuff. And so I pulled this up just so I can go over this with y'all and see. Let me finish reading the chat real quick. I know I'm all over the place, but I was a little unscheduled this evening when it comes to, things to just talk about in my direction. Oh shit, I didn't have it on live chat. I'm missing a lot of people in this bitch. Tay Miles, he put on for his people, and the theme was based in love overall. That reigns supreme in my world. I would agree with that. And that's why I say it was okay. It was okay. Just even though I couldn't understand nothing he said, according to people who speak Spanish who translated it, he had a message in the music. You know what I mean? And that I can fuck with. Philip Banner said it was all distraction with all this ICE shit. Is basically to cause more racial tension in America. I could see that too. 100%. Where they had a lot of white people, specifically like Republican type white people, who was trying to boycott it and not give it the love it deserves. Didn't even want to watch it, all because they're trying to deport people who speak Spanish. Now that's a fucked up narrative, but I can see why in this country that could actually be accurate. For sure, Philip Banner, that's for sure a good point. You're absolutely simple-minded and condescending. The message alone was bigger than Bad Bunny or his music. So Charles Ugly, you speak Spanish, or did you base that off of a translation of what? Since you so pro, the message alone was bigger than Bad Bunny or his music because he said love outweighs hate. I mean, come on, you can't call me simple-minded and condescending if you basing your opinion based off of translation. And that to me sounds simple-minded. And I fuck with you. It ain't no hate. This is just a debate back and forth. Are you thinking for yourself, or are you thinking from the mainstream media's perspective, or the masses perspective? Are you speaking for your timeline's algorithm perspective? But they still didn't understand it, so what's the difference? That's my biggest thing. Uncle Biscuit, what's word, boy? He said motherfuckers get Japanese letters tatted on them not knowing what it mean. A halftime performance in Spanish ain't that serious. I don't think it's that serious in which everybody should be speaking so negatively on it. I'm all in agreement with that. Like, I'm giving y'all my opinion on it from a broader standpoint and not just because it was Spanish. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the only reason why, especially we live in a country that where a lot of people speak Spanish. So it resonated with somebody. It resonated with somebody. 2026 grind time. Yes, sir. We here live on Monday.
Context matters.
I missed yesterday because of the Super Bowl, so we just discussing the Super Bowl, getting y'all opinion. I don't want y'all to attack me for it. I'm just giving my perspective. I want to hear y'all perspective. Bad Bunny was the most streamed artist in the world. It's just the Super Bowl. Biscuit said. Malik Pattern. What? I'm glad y'all deleted that. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm the biggest hypocrite. Oh my goodness. I'm the biggest hypocrite. How? Just because it didn't resonate with me? Look, 2026 grind time said I'm Spanish as well, and I thought the same thing. I never heard of Bad Bunny before this. Is he an industry plant? Nah, you tripping, Philip Banner. We've all probably heard of Bad Bunny. I'm not going to take that away from him. He's an international superstar when it comes to numbers, according to y'all. And if I can't understand what he's saying, I can't ever translate his message. So how can y'all fault me for not being able to translate the man's message? Motherfuckers don't understand patois and dancehall or Afro beats. So I guess it's really about the production and being able to dance. I think they even asked Bad Bunny before he performed, how is this going to be consumed for people who don't speak Spanish? And he said, don't worry about the Spanish. He said, just learn how to dance. So to him, his biggest impact was just he wanted everybody to dance and not understand what he's saying. But you can tell from the audience that if you don't understand what you're saying, you can't really relate. I couldn't even really bob my head. I'm going to keep it a bean. Travis said, I'm for the message, especially during these times. It's not fair for the non-Spanish speakers, listeners, when the majority of players of AA, it should have been a mix of different artists. I wouldn't go that far either, though, because I'm not going to be particular just because we don't speak the language that we should have to, that it wasn't fair. I disagree with it not being fair. Was it a good choice? That's up for debate. But it's fair. I mean, we don't judge somebody for speaking a different language. You know what I mean? But on the mainstream stage, I don't know. I don't know if it's really worth it. When you was arguing Drake versus Kendrick, all you went off was the numbers. No, the fuck I didn't. No, the fuck I didn't. All I said was he was the bigger artist. That has nothing to do. I always went off of the talent, songwriting ability, creativity. That's what I went off of. Big Guap said that shit was doo-doo water. Mm-hmm. Throwing a racist Kid Rock for the MAGA fans. That's all subjective. All right, cool. Kid Rock's like kids. And yeah, see, that's another thing I don't agree with. I don't agree with Trump in a lot of things, but they gonna go throw their own Super Bowl halftime show to try to deter viewers. That to me shows racism. See, there's a difference between watching it and not enjoying it or not liking or saying it's not for you. But to have to turn it off and boycott and go watch another stream and create your own halftime show on a different network and live stream it and to boycott it because he speaks Spanish, that to me is pure blatant racism, and that I don't stand for. That's the wrong way to go about not enjoying something. That's where maturity comes in, to be honest with you, tribe. Maturity comes in that level of being able to enjoy something or not enjoy it, but be able to tolerate it, watch it, consume it, and just simply just have a slight opinion without hatred. Nothing that I've said tonight comes off as hatred for Bad Bunny or hatred for Spanish-speaking people. It just comes off from a standpoint of my personal preference of what I would like to hear. It doesn't mean I dislike it. It doesn't mean it's not good. But I would never be the one to be like boycotted. Like I seen Jake Paul, ignorant ass, say, I'm boycotting the Super Bowl. I'm boycotting the halftime show, turning it off at the halftime. So what makes these people think that by them turning off their TV or switching the channel at the halftime show, that it's going to impact numbers so drastically that it's going to be like, see, I told you so. Motherfucker, there's too many people in this world who speak Spanish, too many people in this country that speak Spanish that are going to consume it at a high level, that your 1 or 2 million down channel changers is going to sway the opinion of national media of like, see, I told you so. That to me, that's where the ignorance and racism comes in. That's just like anybody last year who would have said, oh, Kendrick Lamar is too pro-black, so I'm turning off the Super Bowl at halftime. I'm turning off the halftime show. That, to me, exudes ignorance. That exudes racism. Let's all come to agreement that we can consume certain things, have an opinion on it without it swaying how we feel about an entire culture. And if you wanted to boycott the Super Bowl halftime show due to it being in Spanish or it being Bad Bunny, you are racist. You know what I'm saying? You are racist. That's why I'm not agreeing that anybody that decided to boycott the halftime show don't have any type of racist undertones. Because you had to have known when they said announce Bad Bunny that he spoke Spanish, or you had to figure out why were you boycotting it. Why would anybody in America boycott the Super Bowl halftime show other than the fact that the man speaks Spanish? And Latino, Mexican, South American, all these people speak Spanish, a form of Spanish. So you are exuding racism. I'm honestly believing I wouldn't say it's sad to see from the black community that we had some of those takes of boycotting or calling it trash or just being like spewing hate speech about it, because we wouldn't, and we hate when people do that to our music and our culture. So just because they speak a different language, we shouldn't do that. Now I can see these pro-MAGA Republican hillbilly white people because they're all pro-ICE. You know what I'm saying? They all want Spanish-speaking people out of the country. They believe if you can't speak English, you shouldn't be here. I don't believe that. So that's why I'm giving my take from a standpoint of sonically, musically, impact, engagement, catching people's attention, so where everybody, no matter what race or nationality or what language you speak, you can be like, that was a good show. I'm coming from that standpoint. You know what I mean? Not boycott it or it was trash because he speaks Spanish. That don't make sense. With all the BS racism going on right now, he's the perfect fit for the halftime show. Now, I can agree with that. As Scooter guy, that's like saying, that's like literally what they did with the halftime show this year, I feel like was like rubbing it in the face of these pro-MAGA people, these pro-ICE people in this country, specifically whites, who watch the Super Bowl and consume, white people consume it at a high level. Let me just rub it in your face a little bit that Mexican people, Latino people, Spanish-speaking people have a right to be in this country and have a right to showcase their talent on a biggest stage. Fuck you. Watch this shit. I don't care what you say. You know what I'm saying? So with all the racism going on, I believe that they did the right thing. It was a message in it. Roger Goodell, I think that's how you say his name, the commissioner of the NFL, he made the right choice for the betterment of the country, I feel like. This was a let's better the country move, in my opinion. You know what I mean? He said, bro, this take you have right now is a follower sheep mindset. I don't know where you getting that from, holy drug lord. Nothing in this mindset is a follower. This is all my opinion on it, bruh. Jay-Z was in charge of the halftime show, and this was probably part of his doing. Jay-Z understands cultural impact. Jay-Z understands going against the machine, going against the powers that be, leaving a message. He understands that. You know what I mean? So I think Jay-Z did have a lot to do with that. Uncle Biscuit said, y'all just chatting. The NFL has an international audience now. It only makes sense to have the biggest international artists play the Super Bowl. See, I can see that too. I can understand that. But you're going to get a lot of backlash and pushback for it because a lot of people, the majority of America, speak English and they couldn't understand it. The biggest thing is not being able to understand it. Had he been a Spanish-speaking Hispanic individual or Puerto Rican individual and was out here rapping in English, you wouldn't have got the same pushback. It's just people fear and don't understand. People fear and hate what they don't understand. And this is a perfect way to look at it. They don't even understand the language. So you're going to have pushback and hate. You know what I mean? No, you can't deport Puerto Ricans. I agree. But they're just, man, these MAGA people are sheep-minded, one-track-minded individuals. They believe that everybody who speaks Spanish ain't supposed to be here. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like this message was big as fuck with everything going on in the country. So here's what I got here. I know I've been rambling. I'm all over the place because my thoughts have been since yesterday. They're not concise. I get it. I understand. Deal with me. I'm just giving my opinion and feedback as I see fit, freestyling it. But I will say message music, messages that transcend generations, cultures are the most important. And Bad Bunny had a lot of those here. And these are some of the Easter eggs that they spotted. The sugarcane fields were a historical reference. Sugarcane fields in Puerto Rico were originally established by Spain as a means of profiting off the New World, with enslaved indigenous people forced to harvest the crops. Bad Bunny opening with footage from the actual fields and having them represented throughout his halftime set served as a recognition of his ever-present colonial impact. Of course, that had a message. The sugarcane fields. I fuck with it. Lady Gaga wore a corsage with the official flower of Puerto Rico. Lady Gaga. And that's another thing. It's another thing. Let me stop it right here. Because Puerto Rico is part of the continental United States. Puerto Rico is part of the 50 United States of America. So for everybody who is pro-America, Trump included, all these politicians, all these government officials who are against Bad Bunny being at the Super Bowl halftime show and speaking Spanish, let's not forget that Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. It's supposed to be Make America Great Again, right? And it is the United States of America. So how can this just goes to show you how stupid these politicians are and how stupid these I don't know if they're considered conservatives or whatever the terminology is for the red hat wearing Republicans of this country. How stupid can you be to be pro Make America Great Again and Puerto Rico is a part of America?
Context matters.
That just goes to show the idiocracies and the unintelligentness, if that's even a word, of these people in power in this country, dog. That's ridiculous. Like Uncle Biscuit said, you can't deport Puerto Ricans. 730 JB says, never in history have people been this invested in politics as if they're not two wings of the same world and cohorts of the highest level. And that goes with fear-mongering and mass media pressing on agendas to distract you, to confuse you, and to separate you. Majority of 90% of shit that you see in the media is to distract you, device, cause division, cause divisiveness, and pretty much just get people to be sheep and be blind to what's really going on. Majority of everything. That's why media was created. Is to cause distractions, fear, propaganda, fear-mongering. That's the whole point. People getting played like puppets. Facts. You starting to come off as a MAGA warrior for some reason. Be rational, Stat. Charles Oakley, you on my head tonight. I'm being rational, gang. Ain't got nothing to do with MAGA. I don't fucking support Donald Trump. Now, does Trump have some good ideas that are executed the wrong way? Maybe. Does he want to protect the strength of this country? Yes. But does he go about it the wrong way? Yes. So I'm not going to sit here and say, I hate the man, he can burn in hell and just be completely a hatred. But I'm also not going to sit here and say I support him. You know what I mean? There's two sides to every coin. Everybody has different personalities. One minute they can say the right thing and want to do the right thing, and the next minute they can do the wrong thing. But when you show me enough of what your true character is, I can decide whether I want to support you or not. So it has nothing to do with being a MAGA warrior. You will never in your life catch me supporting or fucking with the people who rock with his movements like that. I can like something that somebody has to say and not completely support everything that they do. I don't support Bad Bunny's music, not in a bad way. I don't understand it. I've never heard it. But I can support his message with what he did at the Super Bowl. There's two sides to every coin, gang. The biggest thing to this, in my opinion, to this feedback is we can watch something and consume something and have an opinion on it without hatred coming from it. Without spewing hatred, without just being, oh, you a hater, dog. No. You can have your opinion. Everything is not for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Just because we don't agree with what a group of other people agree with or like doesn't mean that we should be heckled and hated and all this. You know what I mean? But let's get back into these messages that he said. Lady Gaga, that he showed. Lady Gaga wore a corsage with the official flower of Puerto Rico. Lady Gaga's salsa-inspired performance went well beyond the music. She wore a custom-made corsage designed by Piers Atkinson, which is the official flower of the island called Flor de Maga. Damn! For real? The official flower, like, that's crazy. This is what I mean by shit's not coincidence, bro. And that the shit that people do and say without knowing what's going on in this country is pure idiots or pure idiocracies. The official flower of the island of Puerto Rico is the Flor de Maga. I don't know what that means in English. The flower is often seen as a sign of resilience and beauty used during major celebrations on the island. Her dress also donned the colors of the revolutionary flag of Puerto Rico. Flor de Maga is the flower of Puerto Rico. That's crazy. Shout out to you, Stet. I fuck with the intellectual conversation at the same time. Them crash out moments be legendary. Hey, Philip Banner, that's goes back to me too. People can be different, bro. You don't always have to be the same all the time. You don't always have to agree with everybody or like what everybody does, bro. People gonna be different. And at times you may catch me crash. At times you may catch me having intellectual conversations. I pride myself on being able to do both. You know what I mean? Puerto Rico is in America. We said that, which is crazy. Hell, MAGA lovers said they didn't understand Kendrick's performance neither last year, but his was in English, so you're gonna get less pushback. You know what I mean? And with the people who are saying this, they are pro-ICE. You got to remember, the people who are saying this about Bad Bunny and boycotting the halftime show are probably pro-ICE. That's the problem. They trying to grift the dumb people. Oh shit, this shit is moving faster than I thought. Hold on, let me catch. Hey, shut up, Vinny. I couldn't get the word out, niggas. Players fuck up. Players fuck up. Oh shit, y'all been going crazy. All right, let me go to the next one while y'all keep giving me y'all feedback. And I appreciate it because I know I have a lot of Hispanic viewers, a lot of black viewers as well. Y'all crazy as fuck in this chat, bro. Damn. Okay. Let me catch up. The music don't impress me. That shit sound the same. Big Guap. I kind of agree. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but it did all sound the same. All the songs he did. I don't even know how many songs he did because it kind of started blending together. Meanwhile, Jake Paul owns mad properties in Puerto Rico. Ignorance, bro. That's ignorance, Charles Oakley. That's what I'm going to show you. These people are ignorant. I'd rather watch Bad Bunny than Kid Rock any day. Facts, Harry Stees. Facts. Shout out to Seven dropping the Cash App, some super chats. I haven't been asking for super chats, but it's all good. If y'all want to show some love, feel free to drop some super chats. Make sure y'all just click that like for me one time. Our goal is 100 likes every stream. Shout out to the 60 people tuned in with me tonight.
Context matters.
On this random Monday pop out, man. He was chosen for the halftime show intentionally to further flare tension in the 730 JB. I think we said that. That's facts. I honestly believe that he was selected. I'm not taking nothing away from what people deem his talent. But I do feel like there was a secondary reasoning behind picking him for the Super Bowl this year. 100%. As long as your opinion is just about the music and not because you on some MAGA shit, then I can fuck with it. And definitely not on no MAGA shit, holy drug lord. My opinion is just on the consumerability of Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl. All right, Bad Bunny hands his Grammy to a younger self. I love this imagery. This, to me, is the reason why I did fuck with the Super Bowl halftime show. Because of the messages in there. Around the show's midpoint, the camera panned over to a family watching Bad Bunny's Ice Out speech at the Grammys. The child is not Liam Ramos, the 5-year-old detained by ICE in Minnesota, but an actor named Lincoln Fox, who stated via social media an emotional, unforgettable day being cast as the young Benito. Reminder that dreams come true and that it's never too early to dream big. He passed his Grammy to a younger version of himself. Imagery is W. This is why I did fuck with the halftime show. I didn't understand it, but I can see imagery and understand the imagery. I guess his name is Benito. I just figured that out today. His real name is Benito. Paid homage to his late uncle throughout his outfit. Bad Bunny donned multiple custom designed Zara outfits on his first. It was cropped jersey with his last name Ocasio on the back with the number 64. The number was a nod to his late uncle who wore the number as a football player as his youth. Messages. I fuck with it. El Conejo carries on the Puerto Rican tradition of boxing. The two boxers Bad Bunny ducks under in the opening of the show were real rising stars, Emiliano Vargas and Xander Zayas. Zayas, a Puerto Rican native, signed to Bad Bunny Sports Agency under Remus Entertainment in 2025. With boxing deeply rooted in Puerto Rican culture, the moment spotlighted Bad Bunny's commitment to uplifting the island's next generation of fighters. Messages. Visual representation of where he comes from. An American state. Which is crazy that people didn't even know that. Bad Bunny even referenced gentrification. Maria Tonita Cano made a cameo serving Bad Bunny a shot mid-performance. She owns Tortillas Caribbean Social Club, a bar Benito frequents and where he celebrated the release of DTMF in January 2025, widely regarded as New York City's last standing Latino social club. The venue has resisted gentrification and remains a vital gathering and place for the Latino community. The Puerto Rican flag was a revolutionary symbol. The flag Bad Bunny held up in the latter half is... I didn't even think about that too, though. Is Puerto Rico the only state that has its... I guess every state does have its own flag. That sounded stupid. I had to think about that for a second. Every state does technically have a state flag, but the Puerto Rico flag is well known for sure. The flag Bad Bunny held up in the latter half of the performance was actually a lighter blue. The light blue flag was a symbol of revolution in the 1890s when many of the revolutionaries were actually exiled to New York City in 1948. This variation of the flag was outlawed and then re-legislated re-legalized, in 1952. However, it adjusted to the American colors when Puerto Rico was placed under U.S. rule. Damn. See? And now we getting some knowledge about shit that I didn't even know nothing about. To be honest with you, I didn't even know this right here. The lighter blue was the initial one, and then when they joined in with America, they made it go to a darker blue, the red, white, and blue color. America is some colonizers, dog. America is a colonizing ass country, bruh. Who's trolling, bro? I'm gonna get to the chat in a second. Let me just get through this, and then we'll wind down on this topic. The set featured real Latino businesses. At the beginning of the show, Bad Bunny walks through numerous businesses such as villas, tacos, a beloved shop in LA, the building for historic La Marqueta Bodega in New York City where Tonita was sitting. Another was a nail tech, Madeline Nunez, a symbol of how this industry runs Latina entrepreneurship. That's dope. He had real businesses from real cities in his halftime show. That was fire. Bad Bunny taps into relatable universal Latino experience. One of the cultural savvy references was Bad Bunny waking up a child as people danced. It mirrored a shared experience for many Latino kids who fall asleep at family gatherings with chairs, often as their temporary beds, as the festivities run late into the evening. That's tight too. Seguimos aquí. At the close of his performance, Benito drove the point home screaming, Seguimos aquí, which translates to we're still here, a phrase that protested chant. I got a glare on my screen. The phrase is a protested chant rooted in Puerto Rican resistance to gentrification. It also functions as the thesis of the magnum opus DTMF, declaring that Puerto Ricans are not going anywhere as he fights to preserve his homeland. All right. So there was a lot of messages. There was also messages with the flickering lights. I believe that was due to the power outages in Puerto Rico over the last couple years, whenever it occurred. The flickering lights, him climbing the light poles. That was all dope imagery. So I don't want to take nothing away from this man for what his impact is on his culture, for what his impact is in this country as a Puerto Rican man, because we have to respect him as a person of this country. And I'm not even one who cares whether you're from this country or not. If you found safe haven here, in my opinion, you are an American. Salute to everybody in every race, every nationality, and every language that lives on our homeland. I've never been pro-America in anything for any reason. I honestly have despised the way this country was built, what it was built on, what it stands for. But I am a pro-advocate for people who live here and just want to have a better life. So I salute that. I salute the message. Fuck ICE. Do not support ICE. Do not support MAGA. I just feel like, in closing, the Super Bowl halftime show was not meant for everybody. It didn't deserve to be boycotted. It needed to be embraced. It needed to be understood. It needed to be broken down. Whether I understand the language or not, I still think he put on a hell of a show. He represented for his people. He represented for where he's from. And he put out a message that pretty much means stand together. Love outweighs hate. We're still here. All the messages he put out, in my opinion, were what was needed in the time of where we are in this country. And if you hating on it as a hater, you have a problem. And I'm starting to think if you hated on it, you have some underlying racism in your feelings, because I can't hate on it. I can just say I didn't understand it because, of course, the language barrier. But let me see. Y'all give me y'all final takes on the Super Bowl halftime show. What y'all thought about it overall. Y'all got a lot of feedback, which I appreciate. I am about to read some of this chat real quick before we move on to the next topic. Let's see. Where'd I leave off at? Oh, y'all arguing with each other. Okay. But y'all can argue with each other. Let's just keep it peaceful. You know what I mean? We all a tribe. We all fuck with each other. Everybody's opinion should be respected. Unless somebody's being racist. Remember being pro-ICE when the label games. Remember the message tires going to the Mexicans. All right, y'all talking to each other. Valerie, what's going on? Appreciate you checking in. They understood Shakira and didn't like her performance either. See, anything that is not... Bruh, people in America really crazy to think... People in America are really crazy to think people with an accent don't belong, bro. And that's mainly them fucking entitled ass white people, bro. That's really what it comes down to. Chat on that, Vinny. That they own it for real, huh? But I like that though. This is what I'm here for. This is why I wanted to bring up these topics, have these discussions with y'all, because I like to get other people's opinions, let people, for one, show their true colors, but also get your opinion out. Everybody's entitled to it. Yeah, 7, those were people in the trees, which was tight. That was the only way to be able to get them off the field fast enough. They had to put people in tree costumes. Charles Oakley says Trump just recently kidnapped the Venezuelan president and confiscated all his country resources and still somehow thinks illegal immigration is wrong. Facts. It's all propaganda, gang. It's everything that they doing in this country, especially under Trump, is all propaganda. They about to lead us into war for real, because it's all divisiveness. It's all divisiveness. Valerie threw her Puerto Rican flags in the chat. I see you. Puerto Rican mommy. He put on for the whole Caribbean. I'm not a criminal neither. What the fuck you thought? Oh, damn, y'all going back and forth with each other. I can't read all that. Mean Look says, Stet, I swear, bro, I'll go to LA with you to run a 2-on-2 fade. Me and you verse Pun, the Clown, and T-Rail soft ass. Let's embarrass them boys. Hey, when I go to LA, Mean Looks, I might have to hit you up, gang. If you see me posting I'm going to LA somewhere at some point, shoot it. Fuck it. Nigga, Royal Rumble out this bitch. Puss ass niggas. I'm not going to read y'all arguing with each other. I'm going to let y'all have that because that's just going to tie up the chat. Or tie me up with the chat. Me and Steph were still playing quick fade. Would destroy them lames. Hey, man, damn, why y'all going at each other, bruh? I got to get past this. Hold on. Damn. White people are only ones not indigenous to the land called Turtle Island, America. Facts. Stolen land, thinking they run shit, bruh. Crazy as fuck. FBA is a Twitter group of old heads and weirdos that feel left out because they not from a pocket of the United States. What's that? What's FBA? See, y'all talking about shit I don't even know about. Y'all funny. All right, chat tripping. Yeah, y'all wild, and we don't gotta argue with each other. Maybe I'm gonna have to. Damn, this shit is fucking. Hey, Big Wop, we gonna mention the Epstein files for sure. It's something I wanted to bring up. But yeah, man, that's just my feedback. We gonna move on from this topic because y'all going at each other. I don't want that. I just want y'all to just give y'all feedback without arguing. That's why I'm not really upset about nothing or arguing. But I don't know any of his songs either. Yeah. I just wanted to give my take on it, man. I support the message. I support the visual. Do I think it was music made for the Super Bowl based off of consumerism? No. Based off the consumers of the Super Bowl, no. But it is an international game now, and they're trying to bring in more viewership, but they're also trying to push forward a message. So I'm pro that. But I couldn't understand it, so I couldn't really understand it if you understand me. You know what I mean? If you understand me, I couldn't understand it, so I couldn't understand it until I go back and see the messages and get the understanding of what the intent was behind Bad Bunny and what he did. So, but nonetheless, as you know,
Context matters.
shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to 52 of y'all watching me on a Monday night. This ain't my night, but I appreciate y'all turning up for your boy just to have some good conversation for a little bit. We've been on for a little over an hour, so let's get things rolling. I spent longer on that than I wanted to just because I wanted to clarify there was no hate in my blood. There was no hate in my blood. Just couldn't understand it. Now, I do want to kind of stay since Rock Nation did throw the Super Bowl, let's stay in a little Rock Nation topic. I'm a fan of this individual. He can't really do much wrong in my book. If anybody follows me on Instagram, y'all know I posted this man a lot of times, because I support message music. I support independence. I support raging against the machine. Shout out to the group. But I support people who go against the grain and just do non-trendy, non-follower type things. And I honestly support people in hip hop who have fun with it. That it's not about the cliche braggadocious things. And for anybody who's watching audibly and not watching visually, I am talking about the boy LaRussell from the Bay Area, from Vallejo. I've been pro LaRussell for probably 5 years now, four or 5 years. I've been posting LaRussell to my story, saying he's up next. He's going to be huge. This is what talent is really about. Anybody who's followed me for that long can vouch and understand I have been saying this. I'm not looking for credit by any means, but I just have an ear for good music and talented individuals, and LaRussell has stood out to me as being one of those people. Now, LaRussell being... What's going on in this chat, man? What's going on in this chat? Guap and Biscuit, y'all still going at it? Let it rock, man. Let it rock. Let it rock. Let it rock. Come on, man. Don't just cause he getting at you, Biscuit, don't kick him out, dang. Don't kick him out. He got a cool opinion sometimes, man. You can untime him out, Vinny, if you can, or switch it to like 10 seconds. If he arguing with you, you gotta let it rock. If he trolling me or spamming, then it's different. But if he arguing with you, y'all gotta handle y'all scandal. But yeah, let it rock. But I'm speaking on LaRussell. So he's been famously known for being one of the most successful up-and-coming rappers in the independent field. With no label, doing it on his own. He did it out his garage. He did it out his backyard. He did it digitally, direct to consumer. He's put out 30, 40 albums. He's garnished attention from all age demographics, like a lot of people probably have never seen before. He's got 6-year-olds paying attention to him, rocking with him at his performances, all the way up to 70, 80-year-olds spending money out their pocket to support him. He's a man with message in his music, and he has great energy. One of the best things I like about LaRussell Tribe is the fact that he's just a happy individual. Y'all can see from right here, the nigga just smiling. He always smiling. He always having fun. No, 7, I think it switches it. When you add 10, I think it switches it from what the other timeout was. But he's a breath of fresh air, for lack of better words, for hip hop. To me, he's a breath of fresh air. He don't rap about all the braggadocious shit. If he does, it's in a fun, light manner, not to stun on people. He still raps about the struggle and the hustle. His live shows, to me, are the most impactful, more so than his actual albums and songs. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really consume too many of LaRussell's projects, but when he performs live, he has message music. And a lot of the way he interpolates his performances and breaks the beat down and repeats things and changes his tone of voice. LaRussell is a genius. And I've been fucking with him, like I said, now for probably going on 5 years before he's kind of hit this trajectory. So I am happy to say, a little humble brag, that I've been on the bandwagon of LaRussell before the bandwagon got heavy. I'm just going to put that out there. I've been saying that. I used to say LaRussell all the time on the other platform. I used to say LaRussell previously, like I said, on my Instagram, and big him up, and people said he was corny and all this and all that. And now look at the boy. So now that leads me up to what we currently are discussing right now, which is, babe, if you listening, can you bring me some water? I'm gonna have to text you. Can you bring me my water? Yeah. Y'all know how I go when you streaming one person, but nigga be talking a lot. Mouth getting dried in a bitch. Shout out to y'all for tuning into this one person talk. Give this feedback. Shout out to the chat for engaging. Y'all, for real, I appreciate it. But yeah, long time coming, like Big Guap said. For sure, a long time coming. He's deserving of it. But right now, the biggest issue that he's getting is the fact that he's championed being independent for years, which is what you're supposed to do. You did it on your own. You built it off your back. No help from no major machine, no distribution, no corporation, no sponsorships, no big light shining on you. You did it on your own, and you got to this point in your career in which you've garnished enough attention from mainstream media to celebrities that now you're in a different. It's got to be down there. You now have put yourself into a different tax bracket, a different industry bracket, however you want to word it. He hustled the way he was supposed to as an independent artist. Now, to stay independent for your entire career is a lot more difficult than people can imagine, because when you get to this level that he's at now in his career, to stay independent, he'd have to be making millions and millions of dollars off what he's doing. And I don't think he's making millions and millions of dollars off what he's doing. And in order to go to the next level now, you need to have a corporation or a machine behind you. So he's championing being independent, building your own core, building your own tribe, your own foundation, getting respect that you did it on your own, to where now when you present yourself to these labels or to these corporations or to these machines, you have something to show for what you can back up what you're saying. You now, instead of just being, oh, I'm a dope rapper, sign me, or I'm a dope rapper, put $10 million in a budget behind me. Now I can come to you and say, I have X, Y, and Z. I've sold this many albums on my own. I generated this much income. I've sold this many ticket sales, all without the powers that be behind me. This is what you're supposed to do when you want to reach the next level in hip hop. So he's been getting all this negative feedback about turning his back on the independent hustle. But again, he's now reached a different level to where in order to get to the next level now, he can't do it on his own. You just can't do it on your own. You can't become the J. Cole's, the Kendricks, the Drakes, the all the top, the Jay-Z's, whoever you want to name that are the Kanye's, all the top level artists can't do it completely independent, because it requires millions of dollars to become that level of success. You can come all the way up to the window.
It was in the van.
Oh, was it? He's reached a different level now in which it requires him to get a machine to push him to that next level. Good alkaline water. Shout out to my baby for bringing it up. Hey, Vinny, don't start, man. We gonna get into that topic next. You see the shirt I got on, nigga? Dreamville. Well, we gonna get to that after this topic. But look, to my point with the LaRussell thing, and I'm sure he's going to allude to it in this clip. I haven't watched this full clip from the Breakfast Club, but he's on the Breakfast Club now. And like I was saying to end that point before we play this, when you get to this level in the industry, you've reached as far as you can reach in your own, everything that you can reach, you've attained by yourself. He puts his money, he reinvests in himself, understandably so. I'm going to come over here just for the sake of... He invests in himself. All his money he puts back into his merch, his shows, his production, everything that he's doing. He's put money back into himself, but he's not making money in the big chunks right now that will allow him to reinvest that to get him to the next level. He don't have multi-million-dollar video budgets. He don't have Live Nation backing him on his tours. He's not. He's getting, the crazy thing is, dog, he's doing it at a level that we've never seen before, bro, as an independent artist. I feel like the love he's getting from the biggest artists in the game right now is like we've never seen before. He's getting love from the biggest artists, the T.I.'s, the Snoops, the Jay-Z's, the legends in hip hop. He's getting the love he deserves by grinding on his own without a machine behind him. But now he needs to get to the next level. So everybody's been giving my boy feedback and flack. We didn't get to see her. Where's Miss Moneybags? No, you didn't get to see her. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I've been thinking about it more. Don't get ahead of yourself, Miss Moneybags. But I've been thinking about it more since we're over all the BS and the trolling, and I don't have to protect what's mine. That could be coming soon. I don't have to necessarily protect everything as much anymore. And even if something does come up, it's nothing to really worry or be concerned about, because I got a bad one. Context matters. I got a bad one. I don't know why that was lagging like that, but so yeah. But let me get back. Let me get back to it. I'm pro LaRussell, and I'm gonna let this play real quick and see what he had to say. But LaRussell has announced that he is signed with Roc Nation, which, in my opinion, I haven't heard this, but I think this is for distribution and marketing, which will get your name and your face other places that he hasn't been able to attain on his own. It will also put a huge budget behind him, which will get him touring budgets. It will get him wardrobe. It will get him everything that he needs to become the next level of artist. So let's let LaRussell get off his opinion on why he signed to Roc Nation.
Signing with Roc Nation this time around?
You know, I'm officially signed to Roc Nation.
Hey, wow. Now what changes? What does that mean?
And dude, shout out to Seven. Thank you.
It means I now have support beyond just my homies and somebody who truly believe in what I'm doing, who's already done what I've done to show me the path. You know, I've gotten to a point of so much success independently where I'm from that I lost my guides. You know, I surpassed a lot of people who did what I've done. So we've been doing this with no blueprint, no map, no route. Like I'm the first in my family to ever perform at Super Bowl and curate a house band. And you know, all of this is a first. And Hove has been here and done it. So it just gives us a different level of infrastructure. And I'm still indie. I still own all my masters. I still spin my pay. I still do what I want. But now I have a support where, like, I'm from the Bay is going to radio. I've never been able to get to radio. You know,
See,
it's just a difference.
That's my point. He just told you, even though radio is not consumed at a high level anymore, making it to radio costs a crazy budget, $250,000 to get one song streaming at radio, if not more. And these are things that there's still things in this man's career that he needs to accomplish. So for anybody who I'm saying this to say, for anybody who has a problem with LaRussell, which I've seen a lot of people in comments say, oh, he turned his back on the independent hustle. He said he was going to be independent forever. He championed being independent. Yes, you're independent until you need somebody. You're independent until you need somebody, just like women in the world. And women always claim, I'm Miss Independent until you need a nigga. Until you need a man to support you or help you or be a physical presence or protect you. It's the same thing when it comes to this. It comes to music. The man is independent, accomplishing what he can accomplish, and now he needs assistance from somebody who has the blueprint, who's done it before, who's got the budget, who's got the connections. This is a connection-based industry. This is what he did it for. He hustled this hard. This is what they used to tell me when I was making music, not to tie it necessarily to me, but I just have this, this connection with this. Being independent for majority of my whole career, when I was trying to pitch to labels, it was always, what have you accomplished already on your own? What do you have to show for it? Are you at a level in which you can't do more for yourself that you need us? The label needs you to need them. And LaRussell got to the point where he was honest enough with himself to say, hey, I need more of a push, more of a backing, more guide. And that's what he's saying right here.
System. And as soon as we agree, like, man, let's work, they were instantly like, we believe in this record. We willing to take the radio. I've had partnerships prior where they try to tell me it ain't worth it. Your song not worth going on radio until you get a TikTok moment or some viral chain. It's like, why we count on TikTok to believe in something that we all believe in personally, you know?
What was the energy when you was with Hove and Emery and all those guys?
You see, just you asking that made me smile. Like that shows you like the presence and the energy. And prior to us going, my homie Splash was like, man, you gonna meet Hove today, like how you feeling? And I was telling him like, man, I'm conflicted because I honestly don't know who I'm gonna meet because of the Diddy thing and just meeting so many other people. And I was like, man, I'm nervous because I don't know who I'm going to meet. Am I going to meet like someone that I'm like, man, this is what I hope for? Like, damn, another one. And it was everything beyond. Like who social media and the internet make Hove out to be is so far from what it is. Just from my interpretation, I can only go off my gauge and who I sat with and who I spoke with. You know, even before I went, my mama was like, but what about all the YouTube videos? And she was really worried and concerned.
Yeah.
You know, and I was telling her, like, man, one day I'm going to be successful to the point where all those same videos going to be about me, and you're going to be mad because you're going to have to fight for me for who I am. And I told her, I said, I'm going to go make my own determination. I'm going to sit with him. And, man, like, he poured into us, and same vice versa. And he even told me, like, the fact that he would say, man, I'm glad you said something because I'm not above criticism. And if you didn't, I wouldn't have changed my own house and this wouldn't exist. That's a powerful statement to make as a nigga who up here. Yeah. Because he's high enough to be like, nigga, I don't care what you talking about. I ain't never got to see you again, you know?
Oh, you thinking of signing with Rock Nation?
No, I fuck with it. And I'm just going to wrap that up with saying, look, we always want to put ourselves, like Vinny just said, do your homework, how many artists get signed to Rock Nation and where they at now. There's a difference in who signs to Rock Nation, where your talent level is, and what you brought to the table. Nobody who is signed to Rock Nation, unless they've already been signed to other labels and left and now need the assistance again or need to be like rebranded, signed to Rock Nation that have been the level that LaRussell is at. He's coming off as a new artist. He's not signing to Rock Nation as an old artist or somebody who needs a rebrand or a rebuild or a new push to be like, oh, I'm signed to Rock Nation now. So I'm not going to say that. I feel like he's going to be super successful with signing with Rock Nation. Like he just said, he's with Jay-Z, who is championing what he's doing and also building he's curating what LaRussell needs around LaRussell and not just giving him the flat out blueprint that everybody has with Rock Nation. And I think that's what's going to give LaRussell the advantage ahead of time. But at the end of the day, you can't appease. This is the same thing I just said with the Bad Bunny topic. You can't appease everybody. You can't make everybody understand and respect what you're doing. But at the end of the day, he's doing it for the greater good for himself. I'm happy for LaRussell. I hope that he gets all the light he deserves because it's a breath of fresh air for hip hop, man. It's not your same braggadocious murder, kill music and all that bullshit. He actually has fun music and he enjoys what he's doing. Hey, I seen that, Big Guap. I seen that. That was funny. I wish the video was longer. But I fuck with it. I fuck with LaRussell heavy. And I wish him nothing but the best. I hope one day I can cross his paths and just let him know how I feel about him as an artist and that breath of fresh air that he is for something that I love so dearly, which is hip hop. You know what I mean? And I honestly feel like you can't make everybody happy and you have to do what's best for you. And he's reached where he needed to reach. And trust me, with intelligent as LaRussell is, by him deciding to sign a deal, which he didn't disclose what type of deal it was, but by him signing a deal with Rock Nation, he knows what he's doing, Tribe. LaRussell know what he's doing. And I feel like, Vinny, because your choice of music is very sketchy in itself, nigga. We ain't gonna get to you and your choice of music. But yeah, man, it's not for everybody. His music is not for everybody. But there's a lot of people in hip hop and legend artists who fuck with him. And I just think that he's smart enough to know that if I'm gonna quote unquote turn my back on being independent and being this big artist who's independent, that he's doing it for the right reason and he knows what he's doing. You just gotta trust him. He's one of the few people who have been able to build a community as an artist coming up without cosigns, without anything, doing it himself. You know what I mean? We've never seen nothing like it. So salute to LaRussell. I'm going to keep supporting him. Like I said, it's been over 4 years now that I first got wind of LaRussell. Skinny LaRussell was who I got hip on for real. Them backyard shows, I was paying attention to him a long time ago. And I fuck with him. And I hope that he continues down this path. He doesn't change up how he's doing things. And he only continues to grow. But nonetheless, he's got a supporter out of me, dog. And he makes good, quality, fun, story-based, lyric-based music, unlike the individual that I'm about to talk about. Now, let's move on, tribe. Shout out to the 50 people still tuned in with me on this good Monday night. I appreciate your time. Make sure y'all click that like. If you want to donate, please drop a super chat. Anything is appreciated. It helps the stream move forward. It helps put a little chili in my pocket to up production and to make sure that I'm present on this motherfucker like it's a job. Because at the end of the day, it is a job. You know what I mean? So you do want to be rewarded a little bit. But let's move on to this topic of this fucking waste of space. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't really have too much negative opinions on people when it comes to musicians. I don't really like to downplay or shit on people, but when your real life crosses over into music, which is the most brainwashing type of media that is consumed, and you are putting out negativity into the world, and you don't have anything positive to talk about, and you are projecting this terrible ass music on a bunch of kids and youth that are already lost in the sauce, I don't have no support for you. And I've heard music from this nigga. There's nothing nobody can say ever in life to make me believe that this man has talent or this man is good at what he does or that his music is good, because that shit is like Bubba Dub says, trash. That shit is trash as fuck. And I'll be honest with you. If you're somebody that can consume his music, you're the type of person that I'm talking about. Being able to consume his music, you just have to be ignorant. You have to be brain dead to think that that's even type of shit is enjoyable. Now, I believe there's a time and place for everything and everybody and whatever you want to call it, different types of music. But it's never going to be a time in my life. I don't know, call me old. It's never going to be a time in my life where this is consumable music or consumable content. And the arrogance, this is what I go to show y'all. We was just talking about with the Super Bowl. Everybody want to talk about Bad Bunny having the biggest numbers and all this shit, but numbers don't equate talent. I've told y'all this over and over. This man has all the numbers in the world, but he has no talent. He has no talent. And you can have all these young kids play your songs over and over. These kids stupid as fuck. I'm going to be keeping a bean with you. The Gen Z, if you are under the age of 25, and these niggas are dumb as hell. They're dumb when it comes to education. They're dumb with street smarts, book smarts. They dumb with deciphering negativity from positivity, all the whole shit. These niggas is dumb as hell. And he's the leader of these people when it comes to this music. So you can have all the record sales you want, all the streams you want. You will never be a crossover artist. It will never happen. YB will never be a crossover artist. He will never transcend cultures or generation gaps. It will never, ever happen. So for him to have this vibrato of like being just the shit, this is when you know numbers. I disagree with Jay-Z when he says men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Because you got a bunch of dumb airheaded niggas who play the same songs over and over and that's all they listen to. You're gonna have high streams. But that music is trash. So for this man to have this much vibrato, like I said, and come across and say, NBA Youngboy challenges rappers to go 15 songs each and the loser never raps again. This nigga is out of his fucking mind, and I am begging, Vinny, you done lost your goddamn mind. Don't you ever put that L word attached to this nigga's name. Don't you ever in your life attach the L word to this nigga's name. Nothing he has done is legendary in the music industry at all. Period. Like I said, there's certain type of numbers that don't fucking matter, especially when the numbers all, ain't nobody over the age of 27 listening to this man. Nobody over the age of 23 playing it over and over. Ain't nobody outside of certain environments in this world are listening to this type of music. Nobody with their head on their shoulders, nobody with intelligence, nobody that's book smart, that's articulate, is listening to this music. So for this man to say he challenges any rapper to go 15 songs with him and the loser never raps again, I am begging 90% of rappers, real rappers, to challenge this man and get him the fuck out the paint. Nah, Logo Secret, it ain't about my cup of tea. There's a difference. I can say the Bad Bunny music is not my cup of tea, but I can understand talent. I can understand crossover ability. I can understand consumer ability. This has none of that. This has none of that. Vinny, I'm not baiting into your rage bait. I'm not falling for that shit. So I'm curious to know what y'all think. His influence is already solidified. His influence is negative. You can't tell me that there's anybody with their head on their shoulders that listens to this man. Y'all have lost y'all mind. I've listened to his music. That shit is garbage. I said what I said, Logo Secret. If the shoe fits, ain't no stamped, none, ain't no cup of tea, ain't no none of that when it comes to this nigga. This shit is garbage. It's one thing when your substance is about one thing. There's a lot of rappers that I like that have considered negative substance, but it's also the way you sonically put it together. It's also what else do you talk about? Every single song this man makes sounds the exact fucking same. So I am begging somebody, anybody, who are they naming in this chat? Future, Dirk, Kodak, Drake, Kanye, Wayne. There's so many people. I don't know if they only want to put big dogs. You can put some of the up and coming people to go again. Rod Wave. You can put anybody up against him, and a real intelligent music consumer, not a fanboy, not a lime green flag waving fanboy, not their opinion. Real hip hop takes. Let's break down the bars. Let's break down the production. Let's break down the cadence. Let's break down, can you rap on beat? Let's break down, take off all this whiny ass auto-tune. Let's go with your image. Let's go with the message that you portraying. Let's really go down for bar rapping ability. He is getting washed, and I am begging somebody, anybody, to get this nigga out the paint. I don't think I've ever felt this. I don't feel like there's ever been an artist as detrimental to the youth as this man right here. And I don't know if this is just my age showing or what, but I care about the impact on the youth, which is another reason why I'm so pro J. Cole when it comes to music. Because message music means a lot. Message is everything to me in hip hop. Hip hop started with messages. It didn't start with just saying what quote unquote sounded cool. So I'm all for message music and something that means something, and all for the youth, because we live in a time now where music is so readily consumed and so much consumed by the youth that you can tell from the way they dress, look, and act that this man is influencing them negatively. You can see it, you can hear it, the way they act, the way they treat adults. Gen Z is cooked. They are cooked, chat. They don't have any hope. Like Pac said, the hope for the future. Like, we have to cherish the innocence of our youth. And now you got, and I'm not saying it never happened before, but it's never happened at disproportionate levels the way it's happening now with people with kids, black kids in the inner city. That you run around saying that this man is better than the greatest of all times. Y'all have lost y'all fucking marbles. Y'all have lost y'all marbles. It's super overhyped. It's super negative for the impact. Like I said, we've had youth in inner cities growing up that are gangbanging, that carry guns, that do whatever, but never to the extent that we have right now. And I'm willing to bet that it's all because of the people who listen to this man on a regular basis Y'all don't realize how much sonic waves in music actually influence your mind, influence your behaviors, influence your attitude. I've been a kid before. All of us have been kids before. We know that when we was 9, 10, all the way up to 20 years old, it's the most influential time of our lives. So if we are consuming music that is completely negative, and music is such a day-to-day thing in our lives, especially in the youth's lives, we are ignorant to say that this is not influencing them in a negative light. So I'm all for getting people like this out the paint. Call me a hater, call me rage baiting, call me whatever you want to call me. I'm all for getting niggas like this out the paint. Because we are doomed. Our future is doomed when it comes to Gen Z and their intelligence. Here's a perfect example. Let me bring this up. I was going to bring it up in topics. But this is the first time in history. This is why when I speak, I'm not speaking out my ass, tribe. This is the first time in history. The first time in history, recent studies suggest Gen Z is the first generation with lower IQ scores than their parents, potentially linked to heavy AI dependence. Now we can add it's potentially also linked to horrible fucking music. Horrible fucking music. This is going to show you that Gen Z is fucking cooked. So why are we going to continue to feed them negativity? There's no way if I was a parent, my kid would be listening in my presence to fucking NBA YoungBoy. Not only is his music garbage and he raps about shit that is supposedly true, that should just go to show you these niggas want to enact what they think this man is enacting or have enacted. It's some millennials that's cooked for sure. It's 100% some millennials that's cooked. But not at the rates that we're seeing with Gen Z. We are doomed as a society to think that we have a positive future when it comes to... Can you imagine Gen Z people having kids? Like, let's be real. The next generation after Gen Z, Gen Alpha, whatever their generation is called, are done for. That's why AI is taking over everything. These motherfuckers ain't gonna have no jobs. They ain't gonna have no minds of their own. They ain't gonna have no good education. Their music is gonna sound like who we talking about. They are real life done for. So I'm saying that to say, let's go back to this. I'm saying that to say, somebody, anybody, get this nigga out the paint. Somebody take this challenge, and I want this nigga to hold his word so we never have to hear from him again, bruh. I don't want to ever hear this man influencing. I mean, there's a lot of artists like him, but because y'all say it's numbers that matter, and he's a legend, and he has all this, he's the voice of this young generation, and this young generation is fucked off. And maybe I'm just showing my age. I don't know, call it what you want. I'll take it on the chin. I'm not a fan of it. Never will be a fan of it. And I need him out the paint. I need LaRussell type artists, J. Cole type artists, which leads me into the next topic.
Context matters.
The topic that I couldn't wait to get to. I was going to save it for my normal Sunday stream when I had a bunch more people in here so I can get all my usuals to give me their feedback. But J. Cole album dropped on the 6th. Today is the 9th. I have been able to sit with the Cole album for 3 days now. I have listened to it front to back. This is me. Let me just set the precedence right now before I go into giving my feedback. I have sat with the project, The Fall Off, which is why the title of the stream, it does have a double meaning because y'all know I don't really want to get into that because we leave that alone until I'm mentioned. But The Fall Off should be studied because I'm saying that because Their fall off should be studied because it's really pathetic. All the bragging and boasting niggas was doing just to fall off and just become plateaued and mundane. Touche. Cole's album, The Fall Off, should be studied because we got too many people that are giving feedback on projects and albums. Small-minded listeners that consume NBA Youngboy, Vinny. Oh, man, here y'all go. Y'all are crazy. No, out the paint. I mean out the paint as far as being able to create music. Out the studio. Get this nigga out the studio. But I want to stress the fact that the fall off should be studied. It takes a certain type of individual and a certain type of mentality to be able to break down and understand what J. Cole raps about and how he raps. So I will not tolerate no slander. If you have not listened to the album front to back multiple times, your opinion is null and void. There is nothing that you can say and or do that is valid if you don't have the intellect to be able to decipher all of the bars, listen to the structure of the album, break down the stories, and understand where he's coming from. That's my biggest take with it. The album, to me, after listening to 24 songs 3 times in a row, is an awesome project. I love it. Now, I will have some critiques before y'all just sit here and act like I can't give both and give honest feedback. But overall, the project to me on 3 listens, which I honestly feel like the project's only going to get better and better and better. But I feel like after 3 listens, I didn't do what the average consumer nowadays does. The average consumer nowadays, it is that deep, Vinny. You got to understand. You got to be able to relate to where he comes from. You got to be able to relate to the stories he's talking about, from the humble beginnings to the top of the top, to everything that comes in between. This man has life music. And if you haven't analyzed the album from the song titles to the sequencing, to the production, to the samples, to the storytelling, and you can't relate to where he comes from, I relate to where he comes from because to me, the way he paints Fayetteville, North Carolina, reminds me a lot of Rockford, Illinois. The inner city is treacherous. And when you come from a city that's outside of a major city and it's deemed an inner city, you can understand where the fall off comes from and why J. Cole raps the way he does. Everything that he says is story-based. He don't give you surface-based music. So if you're looking for the catchy beat, if you're looking for a radio record, if you scanning through and you don't like a song because the production isn't NBA Youngboy style bumping, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. You ain't able to listen to it, and it's not gonna bump in your car. You ain't gonna be able to do all this to the record. J. Cole is not for you. And this goes all the way back to how all this music category ties in with each other, with the whole Bad Bunny conversation and everything. Everything is not for everybody. If you're not mentally there to where you want to listen to music for soothing effect, or you want to listen to music to cope with what you're dealing with, or you want to match your emotions with certain music, then this music's not going to be for you. If you're not able to relate to storytelling music coming from the inner city, those struggles of have-nots to success, if you're not able to, he's got stories about girlfriends, going to the club, getting out the club, being at the gas station, seeing people who support you, showing you love. Everything to me is story-based. If you're writing an album for 5 years, you're writing an album based off of your life experiences. And if you only consume music because you want it to be a pastime, or you want it to be a turn up or whatever, Cole is not for you. Corey's is not for you. I'm just using the key points. I've only listened to the album 3 times. J. Cole don't make music and albums for 3-time listens. He don't make music for you to skim through it. Everything is supposed to go in order. So the more I listen to it, the more I'll be able to break it down. I'm saying that to say he's talking about real life experiences, not the club, not bitches and hoes, not jewelry and flashy jewels and Uzis and Tech 9s and 30 clips and he not talking about shit like that. So his music ain't for you. His music is for the person who has matured in life. His music is for the people that have matured in life who want to listen to music as an escape. He's even said it in songs like, you get to the top and realize that the greats that you used to listen to fall off and aren't able to stay true to themselves and true to their identity and continue to make this storytelling music, and they end up falling into trends and then they end up falling off. You know what I mean? They give in to what people want to hear versus staying true to themselves. And to me, that is mature music. To me, you got to be a mature individual to be able to decipher what he's talking about. There's words in here that majority of this younger generation aren't even going to be able to understand. There's shit that even I don't understand after 3 listens. There's shit that I'm still catching as I listen to the project. So overall, I'm going to give you my overall. Overall, the project to me is phenomenal. I listen to music nowadays to soothe my mental. I don't get in the car and play music. I don't get in the car and play albums. I don't sit around the house and just turn on music. I don't listen to music the same way I used to because it's been so garbage and it's cluttering. I like my mind to be free and free thinking. I don't like my mind to be cluttered. If I listen to music, I need it to tell stories. I need it to be like I'm reading a book. And a lot of people that consume J. Cole's music nowadays in the younger generations, they judge a book by the cover. They read the first couple pages and they throw the book to the side. Because you ain't even got to the thick of things. You ain't even got to the storytelling. You haven't even got to the chapters. You ain't even got to be able to hear, like, why would you not want to listen? I know a lot of people listen to music to escape, but why would you not want to listen to music that tells stories and portrays stories about where you come from? Or the stories about mental evolution and being different than the pack. I like to listen to music that has context, substance, that has storytelling, makes me think, makes me go, ooh. None of these niggas that y'all want to compare to J. Cole, you have to go back and listen to catch what they talking about. Not even Drake. Drake don't even make real storytelling music like this. A lot of his stuff is catchy and feel good and what sounds good and what's going to rhyme well and what's going to be easily consumed, easily digestible. Cole don't care about that. This is why I've always been able to resonate with Cole, and y'all can pick me apart for that, for the reason why it makes sense why I'm such a Cole fan. I have a different mentality when it comes to life, tribe. I like just like Tay Miles said, on some real shit though, it hurts that motherfuckers don't want to listen to cool, smooth shit like Cole no more. It's unfortunate. It's super unfortunate. Because we got somebody who is rapping about humble beginnings and success, but also not eating the chicken, for lack of better words. He never conformed, he never changed. He stayed true to himself, and he's got flack for that because he's not making the club songs, the up-tempo songs, the songs for the bitches to shake their ass to, the songs for niggas to grab their gun and go do a drill to. Cole don't make music like that, so he's gonna get flack. He's articulate, he's well-spoken, he's a beige brother. You know what I'm saying? He don't rap about being gangster. He don't rap about wearing jewelry. Every time you see Cole, he's in sweatpants and hoodies with no labels on it, a pair of Jordans, and he keep it pushing. Cole is a different type of rapper. He's one of the only rappers in rap that has the ability to do this. Kendrick has this ability, but Kendrick don't have the same level of storytelling, in my opinion. Now, I'm saying all that to say I love the project. I'll give a review or a rating on it at the end of what I'm saying. I do have a little bit of a gripe. I'm not completely biased. Cole is my favorite rapper because I like to listen to music that makes me think. When I listen to music, I don't listen to music to turn up. I'm past that age in my life. I don't listen to music to get lit to. I don't even get lit. I don't go to clubs. I don't drink like that. I don't even smoke no more. It's age, it's maturity, it's evolution. Cole is my age, 38, 39. I think he's in that realm. He's about to be 40. He's not going to get on there and sound like NBA Youngboy, right? But there is a part of me, and he has some songs on there that's like that, but it's a part of me that wishes Cole did have a little bit more commercial reach. I mean, he's gonna be commercial just because he's Cole and he's successful in what he's commercial because of his level of success. But I get what some people are saying when they don't have those certain bops or those certain like hard hitting, crazy bass, bounce around type music. My only gripe with the project was I feel like he could have sprinkled in more commercialized sounding music because it is appealing to the ear. He can make commercial, just like with 2014 Forest Hills Drive. He made commercial style beats and he chose commercial style production and beats, but he rapped on it still with stories. So my only gripe with the fall off is I wish he would have sprinkled in a little bit more of Forest Hills Drive style music in there as well. But that's my only gripe. I don't have too many. I should have been over here this whole time. He didn't have that aspect to the album. Now, do I feel like this is gonna be his last project? Yes and no. Yes, because Cole is a solid-minded individual that don't sway for nobody. So I feel like yes, he will retire for some years before he drops another album and let you sit with this project and understand where he's coming from. But I also hope he doesn't retire because his music is that good. Like that album is that good. See, Logo Secret, I don't know where you come from or what your upbringing was, but I can resonate with Cole's upbringing so well that his backstory to me is super appealing. The stories that he tell remind me so much of my life. They remind me so much of my life. Like I said, I don't know what the population of Fayetteville is. Let's see. I don't know how large. But see, it's exactly the same. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know if I resonate with Cole more because of our upbringing being so similar, biracial, and whether people want to believe it or not, light skin, not wanting to be active in the streets, but still having your connections and your affiliations, the music grind, the hustle, moving from your hometown to better yourself, being different thinker than the people you went to high school with, becoming more successful than the people you went to high school with, chasing entertainment, once wanting one thing and then now wanting something else as you mature. I resonate with Cole so much. And this is a perfect example. Fayetteville, North Carolina has a population of approximately 200 to 210,000 residents as of recent estimates. The sixth largest city in North Carolina and the county seat of Cumberland County, it serves as a major hub for the region, heavily influenced by the adjacent Fort Liberty Bragg military base. 200,000 people is his population. When you're from a city that's that small, that's an inner city, I resonate with that. And that's maybe why Cole has such an impact with me. You know what I'm saying? As of early 2026, the population of Rockford, Illinois is approximately 147,000 people within the city limits. 147,000 people is the city that I grew up in, the city that I'm from. So understanding Cole's story to me is deeper than just looking for a bop in his music. His story to me is He said, y'all are the same elk. I feel the same way. And to me, to be honest with you, Logo Seeker, that's a compliment. I don't know if you rage baiting or trolling, but I honestly feel like that's a compliment because I've reached a level in my life of maturity, dog, and it's peaceful here. And Cole gives me music that is still keeps me in the love of hip hop, but also talks about the things that I want to hear. I want to hear about the come up to the fall off. That's the shit I want to hear about. I don't want to just be, I don't look at music as I don't look to music for entertainment value. That's just not me. I don't look to music to be entertained or distracted. When I listen to music, I need to be tuned in. It's like people, you don't read, if you're a reader who reads books, you don't read books to distract your mind and just to have a good time. You read books to be intrigued. You read books to be shocked. You read books to be like, damn. You read books to learn. You read books to understand new words. That's what you listen to. That's what you read books for and listen to music for, in my opinion. And I don't know if that just comes with maturity, but to me, Cole makes music that is not easily digestible, has meaning, has message, has storytelling, and gives you something to relate to. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Now, overall, the average consumer that wants to get on TikTok or on Instagram and rate the album, the average person is not going to understand J. Cole or not be able to break down J. Cole. And it's been 3 days, Tribe. So everybody that's got these major think pieces and everybody who has an opinion on the album, I guarantee they not sitting with the album 1 through 24, listen all the way through. These are people that want to skip a track because, oh, they don't like the way this tempo is. We're in a generation of music consumers who will base everything off of tempo. I'm not a tempo-based music listener. So my opinion on the fall off is different than a lot of people are going to be that's an average consumer. But I guarantee you, if you ask anybody who's in my age bracket that decides to listen to music, they are going to prefer a J. Cole project over an NBA Youngboy project. He don't do no features. Niggas looking for features. Niggas looking for cliche ass shit. You want high tempo. You want major producers to do it. You want 140 BPMs. This album is a full circle album for J. Cole. This album represents his entire trajectory in hip hop and in life. That's why he's able to go around and not fear for his life and not worry about being robbed. And he can go out and touch the people and give out CDs out of his trunk. It comes with maturity and maturation in music. This is a full, this album to me is, if you've never listened to J. Cole before, you could put this album in and listen to it front to back and get an understanding of who this man is on one album. On one album, this album to me, in only 3 listens, I'm going to be listening to this album all summer long. All the way through the spring, all the way through the summer, I'll be listening to this album. There's not many artists that's going to drop this year that's going to take this out of the CD changer or out of the Apple Music rotation. I'm going to decipher this album all the way down from bar for bar till I learn the lyrics, till I understand what he's talking about, till I catch every double, triple entendre, every punchline, till I understand every story and I can recite it back to you. This is just 3 days of me listening to the album. My only critique to the album is I feel like his production could have been a little less melodic, or he could have mixed in or taken away some of the melodic production, the melodic harmonizing in his songs, even though I know that's who he is. That would be one takeaway or critique. and he could have added a couple more commercialized records to keep the flow and to keep the attention. Me, I can pay attention. I have a good attention span to where I can actually pay attention to the album and don't need to have all the bells and whistles to be entertained. But the average consumer, speaking from the perspective of the average consumer, he needed more commercialized sounding songs to keep the attention of those people. But again, I don't think he made this album for those type of people. And I think he's okay with that. He's still going to sell 300,000 units the first week. You know what I mean? And I feel like anybody who has anything to say about him backing out of the beat when he dropped the song, backing out of the beef, when the diss song he put out on K-Dot was on a project called Might Delete Later. He already was battling with, should I even keep these songs out there? This is how I feel at the moment, but I ain't. So anybody who's faulting the man for that or taking any credibility away from him for this album, you already have a skewed perspective of the music. You already have a skewed perspective of the music, in my opinion. So, yes, everybody's entitled to your opinion, but unless you've reached a level of mental maturity, unless you're able to take away all the underlying factors that are out there and listen to the project as is, your opinion don't matter, gang. Or your opinion matters to you and your people, but to actually sway people was DMing me within 6 hours of the album dropping. The morning after the album dropped, February 6th, it dropped at midnight. February 6th afternoon. February 6th afternoon, I had people DM me saying he fell off. The fall off is real. The album is trash. There's no way you can listen to a J. Cole project and in one listen think that you can decipher what he's talking about. Those are the people I can't respect their opinions. If you people in the chat have an opinion on it and y'all come to me after you've listened to the project 3, 4, 5, 6 times straight through and you have an opinion, I might accept it. But Vinny, I know your ass and then listen to the project straight through multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Who else got these? A lot of the beats were too busy. That's what Uncle Biscuit said. That's his take from it. Who else? We ain't gonna pay it. Vinny, you just talking. That's why this is the most active Vinny been in the chat, Chibe. Alvin. It's the most active you been. That's how I know you rage baiting. You ain't listening to the project. Vinny, don't never in life would I ever be able to rap better than Cole. Anything, Logo Secret said, anything Cole says, I don't believe. How? He's the most real rapper that we have. He gives you the perspective with no sugarcoating. Everything he says comes from a real standpoint. You can tell by the way he dresses, he acts, his humility, the way his music sounds, it comes from that standpoint. So how can we sit here and say anything he says? He's one of the rappers that you should actually be able to believe. Y'all looking for the turn up. Y'all looking for the turn up music. Y'all looking for the gritty hood street music. That's not Cole. That's not Cole, gang. Who else is rapping as real as Cole? He's going to show you his insecurities. He's going to talk about his love life, his family, his kids, his downfalls, his upbringing, his shortcomings, his humble beginnings, his success levels, his peers. Ain't nobody giving you that much in they raps, bro. Name somebody. Name somebody. No, not even fucking close. Dot is not even close. I don't get. What I think it is. What I think it is, bro, which is I understand why people from certain demographics feel the way they feel about me, and that same it resonates all the way over to J. Cole. J. Cole is a rapper in a field that is predicated on braggadocio, ego, vibrato, I'm better than you. I'm tougher than you. I'm swaggier than you. I got more money than you. I got more bitches than you. Cole is a married man with 2 kids. He doesn't give off the vibes of what hip hop is cliched at nowadays. He's the true essence of hip hop. But the way hip hop has turned, he does not fit into that. And I think he gets so much more flack because he does not conform and try to adapt to the current state of hip hop. He doesn't conform. And I feel like when you're a black sheep, when you don't try to be the tough guy, when you're not out here trying to be street or be hood or bust guns or talk about dope and selling drugs and fucking bitches and wearing jewelry, people don't want to hear it or don't respect it when you're in an element that's what people are used to. Same thing with me. And I didn't fit into that old neighborhood that I was a part of. I was way different. I stuck out like a sore thumb, so it gives people way more reasons to critique. But if you really break down the essence and core of who I am, it's going to surpass everything that you're accustomed to. Same thing with Cole. That's why I can completely, and if Cole is corny, I'm corny. Ain't nothing wrong with being corny. I don't understand why that's a negative. Why that's a negative. Because again, like I just said, we're in an element of hip hop in which people think you have to be tough or street or extra gritty or hood or extra on the braggadocio or extra on the ego to be conceived as a good rapper or a consumable rapper. I don't agree with that. And that comes with maturity, tribe. I think I'm at a different level of maturity for me to be able to break down the difference and not have to fit inside of a box. If y'all support Kendrick the way y'all say y'all support Kendrick, then y'all should be supporting Cole the exact same fucking way. Because he's a more polished version of Kendrick. Yes, I said it. They are very similar when it comes to rap ability, storytelling, the way they make their projects. But Cole is way more comfortable and polished. He's more comfortable in his skin. He's more honest and pure. So exactly. So if you want to say we all corny to somebody, so call the man corny. But to me, that's not shade. That's not shade in my opinion. Cole raps with confidence. He don't rap with ego. There's a difference. I'm not egotistical. I'm confident. There's a difference. I'm not arrogant. I'm confident. Cole is not egotistical or arrogant. He raps from a standpoint of knowing I'm better than you at my talent. I'm talented. I'm not better than you as a human. That's arrogance and egotistical. I'm better than you as a human. My life is better than yours. I got more money than you. My bitch is better than you. That's ego. Cole raps with confidence. The same way that I was in that other platform and I spoke with confidence, and you can't shake it. And no matter what anybody says, you're not going to make me change to fit in to the masses. Cole is not making a project to fit in with the masses. The project is amazing. Look how happy this man looks, tribe. This is the type of shit that I want y'all to understand, and reason why Cole is in a different level in rap. Cole and Kendrick are in the same category. They're cut from the same exact cloth. Man, Vinny, man, I'm about to time your ass out. Man, you getting timed out. You just disrespected. I'm putting you in timeout. You got 1 minute timeout, Vinny. You got to get timed out. This nigga just said Cameron would wrap circles around Cole. You have lost your motherfucking meat and potatoes, marbles, and Jack in the Box, whatever the fuck you want to call. You done lost your goddamn mind. Y'all, that's how I know, Vinny, all due respect to you, that you not mentally all the way there yet. You smart. We've talked. We've communicated. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with your intelligence, but you not all the way there, bro. You're not all the way there if you can even come close to that. J. Cole is in the upper echelon of rappers. The upper echelon. You only put Cole in conversations with Kendricks and Nas's and Jay-Z's and Tupac's and Biggie's and Eminem's, and you don't put Cole is not in any other category. You can't put him in no other category. If he's not listed in your top MCs, he's not in a category that's respected. I had to kick him, Tribe. That's my dog. I had to kick Alvin out. He was disrespectful. It's come, you troll too hard, bro. You disrespecting my name, dog. You disrespecting my boy. This is where you show the man is happy, bro. This is the difference.
Oh.
Cole is, look how he's dressed, Tribe. This is a multi-million-dollar nigga who just dropped the album. You would think he'd be out in a Maybach, in a Bentley Lamborghini with chains on, celebrating. He's half-groomed, hair everywhere, in a dingy hoodie, some baggy sweatpants, and some basic-ass shoes. This is how you know the man has reached a level of peace as a rapper. And if we being honest, majority of rappers are consumed. They not at peace. They not comfortable in their own skin. Look at this man. He still got his Honda from when he was in Fayetteville driving around in high school, driving an old Honda, probably an old Honda Civic, a Civic. He got the engine rebuilt so that it can function and drive, and he's driving across country in his Honda Civic, passing out CDs in his trunk. As this upper echelon of an MC, he is at peace. It's a different type of rapper, Tribe. If you're not at peace in your life and you don't understand life and the importance of certain elements of your life, you will never be able to understand this man in his full package. Never.
Oh, first physical sold. I bought it myself.
This nigga back selling physical copies because physical copies don't go to stores no more.
Hey, copying what you selling us. Bitch, you was good in school. Why you hiding your intelligence? I remember when you was getting A's. Now you selling us. Playing hard for the
Shout out to
right
E with the
boy.
socks hat. Look, in the old Honda, look, not too good. Cole is the only rapper that continually can be relatable to all ages, and well, I wouldn't say all ages, but all demographics. Anybody who grew up in a struggle or a hustle that had a dream chasing mindset, fuck with Cole. Period. That's all I feel. That's what it comes down to me. I don't think nobody's rapping better than Cole. Oh, I didn't even have it on the screen. Damn, I pressed the wrong button. This is what I've been meaning. I was talking about the whole. That's how I know I be needing to have my reaction screen up so I can see. This is what I was showing y'all.
My dog came out mid-cut. I respect it. Yeah, you see it? What is it? Billionaire Barbershop.
I fuck with it. He don't care about brands. He don't care about notoriety, nothing. Good music, tell stories, relate to people, inspire people,
Came out mid-cut. I respect it.
and don't give in to the pressures of being a rapper. That's crazy.
So you got another one out the rapper? Nah.
I just wanted the story, bro.
Yeah, smear on this.
He a normal nigga, Tribe, and that's what I fuck with the most, man. He's not influenced. He doesn't have to be a certain type of way to be received. And if Cole is not what y'all say he is, then why the fuck he gonna have the #1 album of the year? I don't know. Drake probably gonna drop this year, but he's gonna have one of the top rated albums of the year. If Cole ain't like that, why does he get the recognition and the notoriety that he gets? He said Cole cool, but he not at the same time. I mean, I think everybody looks as like a rapper needs to be cool. Like, why does a rapper needs to be cool or like trendy or like keep up with the Joneses and be in Balenciaga and buy his bitch Chanel bags and be wearing big ass Balenciaga boots. And bro, not everybody has to be that way. Once you fully become yourself, and once you fully are okay with who you are as a person, and you confident in who the person you are, none of that shit will matter. It took me years to get like this. I haven't always been this type of person, this comfortable with who I am. But once you get there, it's the most peaceful thing in life. And Cole made an album for people like us. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to keep listening to it. I'm going to keep talking about it. Fuck, I might even, you know what? I might even just sacrifice the monetization. I'm going to do a fall off stream. I know people did it when it first came out, but I might pop out this week and we just going to do a reaction stream to the fall off. We're going to listen to it live, 1 through 26. It's an hour and 41 minute long album. We going 1 through 24, excuse me. We going to listen to it from beginning to end. And y'all gonna give y'all feedback song for song and tell me why y'all feel the way y'all feel. And I'm gonna tell you why I feel the way I feel. And we gonna break down bars. We gonna listen to it. We gonna do that. Just to put some more content out there. I think I can listen to it without cause he's independent. So I don't think no label's gonna take it down. So I think I can listen to it. I don't care about making money off of it. I wanna drive home my point that we gonna sit and read that book together. We're gonna read that book together. The Fall Off music review stream will come later this week. I might just randomly pop out on Wednesday. I'm doing my third law like normal, but I might pop out on Thursday or Friday just as an extra stream, and we're going to listen to the Fall Off from beginning to end because I'm J. Cole's biggest fan and supporter. I got this shirt when I went to the Dreamville Festival. I flew to North Carolina to go to the festival because his music resonates with me personally. If you didn't grow up the way he grew up, if you didn't see the things he's seen, you didn't come from the inner city, it might not be some shit that you can understand. And that's okay. But to the ones that do, and the ones that understand, y'all will understand why we are so passionate about the man's music. Let me see if I can pull up one more thing about this. Let me see what she's talking about right here. Let's see what she say. Make sure y'all click that like stream. I always fuck it up. Make sure y'all click that like on the stream for me. I appreciate you, man. Let's get to 100 likes. I don't know where we at, but my goal is always just 100. We've been around 40 to 50 people in the stream tonight on this random Monday pop out. I sure appreciate your patience rocking with me and me missing Sunday and rocking with me today being Monday. I just wanted to make sure that I gave y'all a live stream of Context Matters this week. So give me a like for that. Give me a super chat for that. I'll answer your questions, take your feedback, shoot me a super chat, let me know that you engaged. It's not about the numbers, as y'all say. As I say, numbers don't dictate talent, but y'all base everything off numbers. But all that matters to me is engagement and that I'm giving an impact and people actually fucking with me for what I have to say. That's the most important, and that's why I feel like Cole, I guess. Because he's not going to change who he is. He's not going to chase extra views, extra streams. He's not going to go get 1 million features so that you listen to the project. I'm not going to go get 1 million people to sit down with. You're going to like me for me. You're going to get my stories. You're going to get my feedback. You're going to get me interjecting into conversations where I feel fit. And if you fuck with me for that, I fuck with you for that. So I appreciate you tuned in. Make sure y'all click the like one time. We have 55 likes. Okay, cool. We need 45 more. Let's see if we can get at least 30 tonight. And then when people run it back, hopefully they'll add 15 more. I just need that 100, man. It's not about the views. It's about the engagement. And who are you leaving an impact on? That's why I feel like there's a difference. And my mindset has switched so much when it comes to this streaming thing is because for a while when I first started, it was like, oh, numbers. It's all about the numbers. Can you compete? Can you do these numbers? Can you do that numbers? Nah, fuck that. It's about the impact. It's about who fuck with you. It's about, people genuinely caring for you that's not going to turn their back on you when you do something different. And when you drop something new, hence what I'm talking about with Cole, they still going to ride with you. They're going to analyze it. They're going to fuck with it for what it is. You know what I mean? They're not going to turn their back because you're not commercialized or you're not doing what everybody else doing. Let me see what she had to say.
Best way that I can describe listening to the Fall Off for the very first time is like this. It felt like watching Kobe in his last ever NBA game and seeing him drop 60 points. It felt like watching Serena Williams in 2015 just beat everybody. It felt like watching LeBron come back from being down 3-1 to bring Cleveland their first ever championship. It felt like watching Usain Bolt dominate everyone on the track in the Olympics. It felt like watching Steph Curry have his Olympic moment against Serbia and France. It felt like watching every single one of Asia Wilson's game winners and also being able to witness every single one of her MVP seasons. It felt like witnessing Michael Jordan win his 6th ring. It felt like watching Simone Biles in the 2024 Olympics silence.
Hey, but she dead on. Y'all can say what y'all want, but she's dead on facts she's older too, right? You could tell she's in her mid to late 30s. It just sits different with us, tribe. I don't know how old y'all are in the chat. Y'all can give me y'all ages if y'all like. I appreciate everybody who's engaged in the chat. If you listening, the chat is important. Please tune in. Please subscribe so that you can comment in the chat. I don't know how old y'all are, but it just resonates different with us with age, man. And with age comes wisdom and maturity with most people. Now, you have a lot of dumb, ignorant people that are like the platform that I came from. Niggas is old and just dumb as fuck, right? Niggas is late 40s, damn near 50, low 40s, and they just never were able to mature or educate themselves to be able to even understand what the nigga is talking about. But for most people who get older, they get wise. And when you get wise, you understand and you analyze things a lot differently. So for people that are in my age bracket, this is how we feel about this project. Even somebody in the comments says, it felt like a climb to the top of a mountain, watching and admiring the view, and then climbing down in awe of what you just did. It literally felt like a rise into chaos and a fall into bliss. Cold analogy. It's just like he told his story from beginning to end. Amazing project.
All her doubters that thought she was washed. It felt like witnessing Reggie Bush's Heisman season at USC. Fall off for J. Cole is his unanimous MVP.
Facts.
It is his first
No
ballot
question.
Hall of Fame. It is his gold jacket that's waiting on him.
Facts.
This is it. And it was everything that you would want if it means that it is his last.
At the beginning of, that was just something I wanted to pull up real quick. At the beginning of J. Cole's career, he was a different artist. He was an artist who was hustling, trying to find his sound and his way in hip hop. And he conformed to a lot of what the music industry wanted. He conformed to what the music industry wanted and asked of him. You got to remember the time that Cole came up was in the 2010s, 2010 and on. He came out a little bit sooner than that, but his prime trajectory came with Born Center album, Forest Hills Drive album, that era of Cole where he was trying to fit into a pocket that he thought he had to be able to become successful in hip hop. And you can't fault the man for that. But as you get older and realize conforming is not comfortable. Who wants to fit into a box when you are bigger than the box? Right? Who wants to dumb down your lyrics just so that it's easily digestible? Who wants to make commercialized music just to realize that commercialized music paints you out a certain way and puts you in that box that you're trying so hard to not be in?
J. Cole has been secretly building the fall off for over
I don't know what that was. I'm trying to find another clip. Let me see. Game gave his feedback. He broke down song by song. I might do that, but I think I'm going to do it on live. Let's see. This says 10 takeaways. I'm just pulling up shit. We're going to change the topic in a minute. Shout out to y'all for tuning in. I appreciate episode 36. Context Matters is here.
Context matters.
This said, am I on the reaction screen? Oh, yeah, I am. This says, his longest and most important album yet, Hour and 40 minutes across 24 tracks, The Fall Off is Cole's longest album to date and arguably the most important. It arrives after years of anticipation, framed as his final album and following widespread criticism for backing out of the Kendrick Lamar battle, which I don't think that has anything to do with shit. Who fucking cares? Why do I want to tear down another man for the sake of and not be friends and talk about his wife and his family and his kids and talk about killing another man just for the sake of entertainment of other people's ears when I don't really feel that way? Fuck that whole back out the beef. If anybody brings that up, you are a sheep. You bring him saying, you right, you know, I don't want to get into this with you because he's seen the direction it was about to go. I'm not finna 2-on-1 you. I'm not about to come out here. If it was just a rap battle, I'll wash your ass. But y'all wanna do personal character digs and destroy people's lives and careers and family and bring their private business into the light. Cole did the right thing by doing that. He did 100% the right thing. Look what ended up happening in that beef. So anybody who brings up the Kendrick beef as the reason why you change your perspective on Cole, you are a sheep. I'm just leave it at that. A 2-chapter story about coming home. The album is structured as 2 chapters. Disc 29 follows Cole featuring returning to Fayetteville at 29 after finding success in New York. Disc 39 shows him returning home again 10 years later, this time calmer and more at peace with himself. Let me just say that last sentence again. They ain't have no fucking ammunition. What ammunition? He's the most transparent, he ain't lying about shit. Dog. All right. This 39 shows him returning home again 10 years later. This time calmer and more at peace with himself. Y'all understand how important it is to be at peace with yourself? It's a big deal. A masterclass in storytelling and songwriting. Cole experiments with perspectives throughout the album. On What If, he raps from viewpoints of Tupac and Biggie, while on Safety tells a story through the eyes of a friend from Fayetteville. Carefully chosen features. Cole prepared a variety of features, including Future's passionate, almost screaming hook on Run a Train, Tim's touching vocals on Bunts Road Blues, Erykah Badu's mellow presence on The Villist, P.D. Pablo's hard energy on Old Dog, and Burna Boy's romantic verse on Only You. Selective features that fit the album, not selective features that try to commercialize a project to get people that are looking for a certain type of sound to accept it. He stayed true to himself. He was wrong for the apology song he made for Pac and Big. That's not his place, and they wouldn't apologize like he did. But he's trying to tell you maturity dog, they was 25 and 26, bro. Maturity comes with age. You have no idea what Pac and Big would have did when they got older. Y'all got to understand, you can't always be in this same mindset over and over, dog. You will grow and mature in life. It's part of it. And if you don't, you are failing. Y'all got to understand, becoming a man is a lot more than just being tough, not showcasing your vulnerabilities. Being a man comes with a lot of different things. I have experienced it. You can't never be too strong and too masculine to apologize. Or if you know you in the wrong or you don't want something to go a certain way, you will apologize. The man did the right thing. He was friends with Kendrick Lamar. Why am I going to go and just try to destroy your career and take you out just because you said, fuck the big three, it's just big me? You're supposed to feel that way about yourself. You're supposed to feel like you the best. But when he realized the beef was not about to take the turn of just talent going against talent, but it was going to go at a personal attack where I bring up your wife and your mom and your kids and where you're from and try to dig up dirt on your name, who wants to be a part of that when you 35 years old? Nigga chose a wise route. I've never understood anybody who faults the man for deciding he doesn't want to destroy the character of somebody he is friends with for the sake of engagement and entertainment. It wasn't about to be just a regular beef. We seen what happened. We saw what happened between Dot and Drake. You got a nigga telling lies, calling nigga a pedophile. You know what I'm saying? You got a nigga bringing up his kids, illegitimacy of his kids, the sanctification of his marriage. Like, that shit took an ugly turn. If somebody you are friends with says that they're better than you in something, that doesn't mean you try to take them out. I dealt with it too. I dealt with it too. If I say I'm better than you as somebody, now everybody hates me all of a sudden. That's where it stemmed from. This is why I relate to this man so fucking much, tribe. When you're good at what you do, when you're the best at what you do, when you're in a field against people that are not better than you and you just say I'm the best, now everybody wants to go personal attacks and personal digs and get you out the paint. Cole decided to not do that. I can still be the best and not have to take you out, my brother. We supposed to be in this shit together. It's ridiculous that, like, people get shot and pass away in beef. You don't think gunshots was happening in the Drake and Kendrick beef? Motherfuckers was getting shot at, people trying to get jumped and beat up, and people having to beef up security. Shit did get serious. Why do I want my fans to go against your fans to where now my fans are fighting? Like, y'all got to take a step back from a consumer standpoint and put yourself in the shoes of these individuals. Especially from an individual who is at peace the way Cole is. Cole has nothing to prove to nobody, no fan, no fellow rapper. He's already proved it. He's the fucking best. So what do I have to get on and entertain and tear my brother down because they were good friends? Why am I going to tear my brother down for the sake of consumerism just to say, oh, he got him out the paint, he killed him? Look what y'all try to do to Drake after the beef. Y'all try to get him out the paint, which is impossible. But that just goes to show you Cole chose the right thing, bro. So anybody who was using him not wanting to battle Kendrick Lamar, it wasn't just going to be a rap battle. That shit turned ugly. It turned into killing characters, trying to get niggas out the paint completely, to destroy brands, to take away endorsements, to take you from this, where you are here, to down here and paint you as something that's one of the most vile things you can say about a person. That's what he avoided. If niggas was gonna just beef and it was just gonna be rap bar for bar, Cole would have washed the nigga. But that's not what it was about to be. That's what it wasn't about to be. It wasn't about to be just who can out-rap somebody. It wasn't just about to be bar for bar battle, who's making better rap songs. That's not what it was about to be. It was, let me assassinate your character. So anybody who's not mature enough to understand that I don't want to assassinate the character of my friend because he feels like he's the best at rapping, y'all have not matured. If my homeboy right now says that he's better at playing basketball than me, and I feel like I'm better at playing basketball than him, and instead of us going on the court to play basketball one-on-one, we want to start saying, nigga, you ain't better than me. Your mama is this. Your daughter is this. It ain't about the basket. It ain't about dribbling the ball. It ain't about who can shoot, who can dunk better. It ain't about our skill set. It's about who can make the other person look worse. Look worse. I hate when people use worse when they're supposed to use worse. That's what that beef was about. It wasn't about who can showcase their skills the most. If my homie is saying he's better at basketball than me, let him say he's better at basketball than me. But if he's not going to prove it on the court, that don't mean I'm going to vile and run his name through the mud and try to make sure he never plays basketball again and make sure his family knows and expose his family to the world and talk about his kids and his mom. And that shit is ugly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. It doesn't always have to get to that level. Man, you done lost your mind, Vinny. It won't even be fucking close when it comes to actual writability, creativity, songwriting. Never in fucking life. Never in life. Y'all have been so brainwashed on Kendrick Lamar after this Drake beef that I am flabbergasted. Where the fuck was all this when niggas dropping the Morale albums and all this other shit? This surface-based rap when he wasn't getting in depth, and where was all this? Y'all are ridiculous now. Like it's became like obsessive compulsive at this point. Cause ain't no fucking way. Before the Drake beef, wasn't nobody even putting that nigga in the top 3. What are y'all talking about? Hip hop is about battle rapping, showcasing talent. Unless you really hate the person, unless you really have a beef with the person, unless it's really personal. But why am I going to get personal with my homeboy for saying he's a better rapper than me and we're in the same sport? So you mean to tell me, so if y'all analogies are true, when y'all talk about the essence of hip hop and being sensitive and trying to change what hip hop is what he's saying, then why do basketball players not do it? Answer this question to me. Why do people in the NBA, after the game is over, when niggas say they the better basketball player, then why they all dap up and have fun and kumbaya and kick it and drink wine with each other after they get done playing games? Why niggas not getting on the internet and saying, oh, Steph Curry is a bitch ass nigga and his wife was fucking niggas in Toronto and his kids look like this and this and this and this? Because they're comparing niggas, right? They putting Steph Curry against LeBron James and why the fuck, if competitiveness is what we're talking about, why aren't these people doing the same thing? Why does it have to be rappers that have to be the tough guys that have to want to shoot and kill you because they think you think that they're better? They think that they're better than you. What world are we in? Why is hip hop painted out to be so violent and so vile and so destructive when all it's about is literally competitive nature? When a nigga says he's better than him in basketball, when we match up, line across, stand across from each other and the ball is tipped off, we're going to show who's better in between these 92 feet. We're not going to take it outside of this court lines and start to bring up families and be like, and paint you out to be some negative ass, horrible person just because you said you a better hooper than me. That's my point. Y'all don't want to accept these analogies because these analogies are factual. These analogies are real. If we talking about competitive nature, hip hop and basketball go one and the same. They're one and the same. They come and derive from a competitive nature of who's better than who. So why can a nigga that's playing basketball say he's better than a nigga playing basketball and it don't turn to where a nigga's trying to get him completely out the paint and wash him out the game? It don't come to that. So why do we got to expect that in hip hop when all it is a competitive nature? It's my homie. I'm going to take care of it in these 92 feet, on wax. I'm not going to take it off wax. I'm not going to bring up your personal life and your family just to paint you out to be a worse of a person so that you can lose fans and endorsements and lose money and have your family looking at you crazy and all this just to show that I'm better. That's fucked up mentality. Where is the maturity at? Where is the maturity level at? Why do we have to expect this from rappers? You know why? It's like what I said at the beginning of the shit, that rap is painted out to be such a gangster ass, tear you down ass society, culture, whatever you want to call it. That's what it's that's what it's been labeled as, and that's what these Jewish people who run these corporations and these labels want it to be. They want to tear you down and cause destruction and dismay between people who were once homies. Cole and Dot were homies. He seen the direction it was going and realized, you know what? I apologize for saying your albums was trash, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I apologize for bringing up your family's whatever. I apologize for that because you know what? At the end of the day, I can still be a better rapper and not have to paint you out to be a negative human. If it was going to stay on just wax and just battling songwriting ability, lyrics, delivery, punchlines, cadence, beat production, album drops, album sales, then yeah, Cole would have washed that. But it wasn't going to be that. Especially because of the route that Drake was taking with him, because Drake and Dot had animosity, real life animosity leading up to that. Cole and Kendrick didn't have animosity. The only thing they were pinned against each other about was who's a better rapper. There is a difference. And I'm saying all that to say, anybody who brings up Cole not wanting to beef with Kendrick Lamar outside of just music and using that against Cole now, which is what I think a lot of people do because y'all brainwashed by media and by other people who have these voices in podcasting and all these people who dick riding Kendrick and all this shit now. that we've never seen before. There's a reason why Kendrick got the Super Bowl right after the Drake beef, because he's never been as big as he was since he beefed with Drake, and wasn't nobody trying to hear that Kendrick shit. It's like we're hypnotized by what the media and what people are putting in front of your face in these algorithms. But Cole has always been that. Always been that. Now, I'm going to wrap this topic up because I went way longer. That's the passion that I have about this type of shit. I'm going to wrap this conversation up. I reviewed the album. Right now, off the first 3 listens, I'm going to give the project, I want to give the project a low enough rating to where I can still go higher without being without starting too high and then giving an unrealistic rating. Because it's not going to get a 10 out of 10. I don't think it will ever reach that no matter how much I listen to it. But I want to be able to give it, raise it up. My first 3 listens, 1 through 24, my rating of J. Cole's The Fall Off album is got to be like, it's got to be an 8 out of 10. Because I'm looking at it from a standpoint of like grading scale, right? So you have 50 is failing, 5 out of 10 is failing, 6 out of 10 is barely passing, 7 out of 10 is a C, 8 out of 10 is a B, 9 out of 10 is an A, 10 out of 10 is perfect, A+. Like I said, this is coming from somebody who listened to the album 1 through 24, no skipping songs ever. I didn't skip one song 3 times in a row. I listened to hour and 40, an hour and 40, and an hour and 40. First listen, I would have gave it probably like a 7.2. Second listen, I give it a 7.7, 7.8. Third listen, I give it an 8. I'm right now where I'm at with it. The project is an 8 out of 10 because I listen for difference in production, cadence, rappability, storytelling, relatability, and sonically something that is soothing to my ears. This is my opinion. It's an 8 out of 10 right now. I will continue to listen to it throughout the week. I'm going to pop on live and listen to it with y'all. Hopefully that Genius has the lyrics up because Apple Music doesn't, and we can listen to the album together. I challenge y'all to listen. Anybody who has a difference of opinion, just go back and listen to the album 1 through 24 and then come back to me, and I guarantee you will have a different opinion. Joe Budden wish he could rap like J. Cole, Vinny. So I'm not respecting Joe Budden can rap. He has lyrics, but he's not a storyteller. He can't compile projects like him. He never reached the heights that Cole did. He's never been marketable the same way. He's a podcaster. I don't give a fuck what Joe Budden has to say about a J. Cole album. Y'all just saying anything. So listen to the album. I'm not saying it's the standard. This is my opinion. I told y'all why I relate to the album. But don't give me no opinion on the album unless you listen to it 1 through 24 multiple times. Go back to how we used to listen to albums in the 90s and the early 2000s when you wasn't skipping projects. You put it in, you put the CD in, you let it play. Quit seeking out songs, quit skipping through songs, listen to the stories, and let it paint a picture in your mind. And then come back and holler at me, and we going to watch it, and we going to listen to it on a stream together. And that's how we going to do that. Because shit is different now. Music is way different now, so I can understand why people with short-term attention spans can't digest and don't have the attention span to sit there and listen to it and break down an album for what it's worth. I'm telling you, I'm super intelligent. I'm not saying I'm no more intelligent than anybody in the chat, but I'm saying is, in as a rebuttal to what y'all saying, I'm a very intellectual individual. I'm very smart. I have a good vernacular. I read very well. I speak very well. I understand big words and I know what they mean. And I still don't understand everything in that album. So if you are coming to me with an opinion and you listen to niggas like Youngboy and you think niggas like Cameron can out-rap J. Cole, your opinion is trash. There's no way in fucking hell. But if you are able to sit down and break down the album and you want to come give me a real opinion, then come holler at me. Until then, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. All right, so let's see. I'm not going to do that tonight, but I want to do a couple more topics so that we don't wrap it with just the Cole album. And we talk about some more stuff other than music. Shout out to everybody who's still tuned in on this late night. I sure appreciate you. Man, Vinny, I'm starting to think you rap the way you rap because of your opinion on rap. Because ain't no way you listen to battle rap every day, nigga. Please don't ever speak on Cole ever again in your life, boy. It's the most you've ever commented in the chat in a row. That's how I know you either trolling or you just trying to prove a point, and your point is not landing, gang. Hey, not landing. All right. So let's see. Let's kind of get into, it's kind of staying in the same vein. And this is what's causing these niggas to lash out. We're going to go into some new topics. Make sure y'all click that like, tribe. We ain't going to stay too much longer. I'm going to say no more than 30 minutes. It's already later than I wanted to be, but we're going to keep kicking it since I got 50 of y'all chilling in with me. And I sure appreciate you. All right. So we gonna go in like D. We gonna go in like D. And we gonna drop some gems. And we gonna drop some gems. Yes, Sirski. 2:43. All right, yeah. 17 minutes. We can for sure do 17 minutes. I like that 3-hour mark. Longer than I wanted, but I'm long-winded and I like these conversations. Uncle Biscuit said, I've been a listener since college radio. This album just wasn't it. Bro, you got to understand, times are different now. Your ear is trained differently. Go back and listen to the album. Go back and listen to the album again, gang. And I guarantee anybody who's in this chat, I challenge you, go listen to the album again. And then when we come back on the next stream, tell me if your mind changed. It's an introspective album. It's about his life. So if you can't relate to where he comes from, it's not going to be as easy relatable. But read it and listen to it from the standpoint of somebody with an open mind. Don't go in and thinking, oh, this shit trash. Actually listen to the project and then come back and holler at me. All right, so let's go into this real quick. This is a reason why these artists are selling their souls, tribe. This is a reason why they selling their souls. I know this man right here is not an artist. He's an artist, a visual acting artist, but he's not a musician. But this just goes to show you that talent is not rewarded financially. The only way you're rewarded financially in most avenues of entertainment is when you are a gimmick or you have a viral situation that occurs and you get temporary monetary gain. But entertainment has fell off at its highest level because we're in a day and age now where anybody can film anything, anybody can rap, and it's so watered down. Finding talent is a needle in a haystack. So people are not willing to pay and cut the check to people in entertainment. Listen what man said. This is the homie from Snowfall. Didn't have a huge role, but listen what he was making for a top viewed show, Snowfall.
It'd be a while before you make money if you ever do.
Mm-hmm. Fuck they call you, man, boy.
Cause I was a full-grown man when I was still just a little boy. Man, boy.
Man, I was probably getting like 5,000 an episode for Snowfall. And it's a great show, but 5,000 ain't nothing in LA.
Crazy.
Your agents get 10, your managers get 10, your lawyers get 5. So that's 25%. The government get another 30. So that's what, 55%?
You was almost working for free.
I'm working for free. So now I'm working with like 20, my mouth might be over 2,200 an episode. That ain't great money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So make sure you're in a financial position where you can make the right creative choices. If I wasn't in a good financial place, I wouldn't have been able to do Snowfall because you lose money.
Okay, so you didn't renegotiate that role as you got...
I mean, you got 2 seasons, and it's pretty much take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Like, I was a guest star. I ain't got no leverage to come in and be like...
the main guy.
Because they'll just write somebody else. You know what I mean? So it's like, my mentality is I got a chance to showcase what I could do to the world in this place. So rather than look at it as giving me 2,200 an episode, how much money are they putting into marketing this show? How much money they put into making this show? Because that's how much money they put into presenting me to the world on a high quality program perspective based on creative choices and not really financial ones, because the financial was taken care of before I hopped in that arena. Acting.
So I just wanted to pull this clip up because it's going to relate to another clip I'll pull up, or another stat or whatever you want to call it that I pull up. Entertainment now has been so oversaturated and watered down that even you guys in the chat, y'all not able to decipher real talent from gimmick. And y'all think everything has to be gimmick based or catchy or like cliche, TikTok, viral for it to be liked, loved, and accepted. It's hard, and not everybody. It's hard, but it's hard for people to decipher good from bad because entertainment is so saturated. And now it's to the point where people will do anything because the money is drying up. The money's drying up in hip hop. The money's drying up in all forms of entertainment because consumerism is different now. Everything is streaming. Nothing's bought. The companies are making less money, so they divvying out less money to the artists, which is causing these artists to sell their souls and just make anything that's deemed catchy, which is another reason why I salute Cole for not changing his path. He got rich by doing what he believed in and stayed true to it, and there's an audience for it. But because these niggas are not making enough money now in entertainment, rappers like your average rapper tribe is not making no money. Let's just keep it a buck. Your average rapper is not making a shit ton of money. Unless you selling crazy shows. If you making 0.0019 cents per stream and you ain't getting millions and millions of streams, you barely can be making a living now unless you like a top rapper. That's why a lot of these rappers still be hustling on the side. Because the consumer is not putting money in the artist's pockets. You have to get money as an artist or entertainer from ads, endorsements, placements, shit like that is what's making these niggas money now. So I bring up this other screenshot that I wanted to bring up from Lil Duval, who's always preaching. He says, what's young niggas' goals now? I mean, outside of getting rich, like what's your I made it moment as far as success? And this is great. I'm glad I brought this up on the night I talked about the J. Cole thing. What is young niggas' goals now? I mean, outside of getting rich, like what's your I made it moment as far as success? There is none for these niggas. Popularity and money is the only thing that gives these people success nowadays in this industry. Unless you're one of the older vets who get their success feeling and joy, like Cole said, from even making the Rewind song. It's not called Rewind. I don't know what it's called. But the song when he rapped backwards. He got more joy and success and happiness out of making that song than actually releasing it. Just because it's something that feeds his soul. These young niggas are soulless now. To where they don't have anything that gives them any value. It's material items, money, and notoriety. That's all niggas care about nowadays. Especially the young generation. That's why you see the old generation are still true to themselves and don't really conform to what's going on because they found their success moment. They found their happiness in what it is that they're currently doing without conforming and trying to be like everything be based on money. Money is great. We've had this conversation plenty of times. I've told y'all, money is amazing. It helps you get to certain levels. It helps you get you out of certain situations and better your livelihood. But at the end of the day, in order to get true happiness, true success comes from different things. It doesn't come from a dollar. It doesn't come from being popular. That shit is here today, gone tomorrow. Money and popularity and notoriety. We see how fast people are trying to turn their back on Cole. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I salute him, because it's like his I made it moment and his level of success is knowing that I can tell this story, influence people. I can write like this now. I can tell these stories like this now. And it's not about how he was when he first came out making the workout song, when he wants to be a commercial success because you have to get notoriety and make money. He found his success level and I made it moment as he got older and matured and realized monetary goods are not the level of success that will make you happy for the rest of your life. Lil Duval goes on to say, I'm not asking so much for me. I'm asking this to make you ask yourself and think and give yourself better direction. Start that over because my boy be preaching. Yes, I've heard of stack bundles, Vinny. I'm not asking so much for me. I'm asking this to make you ask yourself and think and give yourself better direction. This is coming from a man who's almost 50 years old, Lil Duval, who's been in entertainment for 25 plus years. He's seen the ups of fame. He's seen the ups of money. But he's putting this out there to the younger generation, specifically the YNs, like he's saying right here, because they're so lost. They're so lost. So again, I'm not asking so much from me. I'm asking this to make you ask yourself and think and give yourself better direction, because I don't think most people have a clear, long path of where they're going. Because every time I ask someone, they never have a clear answer or say something cliche that just sounds good. And it's not your fault. It's just society has outgrown what we used to see as the goal. Did I not just say this? I guess we just old niggas.
Context
I'm just going with it. I'm just a corny, light-skinned old nigga from the inner city. I'm just a corny, cold-ass nigga. Fuck being cool. I'm cold. I'm a cold-ass nigga. I guess I just have to relate with the old heads because I don't understand the young generation. Look what he just said, tribe. I asked someone... Because every time I ask someone, they never have a clear answer or they say something cliche that just sounds good. And it's not your fault. It's just society has outgrown what we used to see as the goal, like awards or being a superstar. To me, it's like we just doing whatever because we don't know what else to do, and we have overlooked the simple stuff in life because it feels boring, and not just young people that should ask themselves this question. Cliche answers because it sounds good, but it's not your fault because society has outgrown what we used to see as the goal. Social media has made it seem as popularity and a lot of money is the only way to deem yourself successful. What happened to happiness and inner peace? What happened to reaching a level of notoriety in which you are impacting people? What happened to caring about what legacy you leave on the world? Call me, he said, Unc on one tonight. 7 throughout the old grandpa emojis. I'm an old nigga. I'm 37 now. I still can resonate with the youth, but at the same time, my maturity level is not there. I'm surpassed that. So I have to think about it from a different perspective, a perspective of leaving a legacy. Why don't you want to leave a legacy? Why is that not important no more? Why is your impact on the world being positive not what's accepted or strived for anymore? Everybody wants to be the richest and the most flyest and the most popular and have the most bitches and the most jewelry. All the braggadocio shit I told y'all about that J. Cole is against. Where is your inner peace? Like Nipsey said, where your heart, where your soul at? That's what's important. Nipsey was relatively young, still preaching this shit to y'all. Died at 33. He was in his 20s talking like this. But y'all salute Nip. So why is that not important for everybody that's in this entertainment industry? We know the money's not there, so everybody's doing clout-driven things to make more money because that's the only goal. Nobody cares about nothing else no more. That's the part that pisses me off about the youth. What more are you striving for? What more is it that you can get? What's the top priority in your life to make you happy? At the end of the day, money can make you temporarily happy. It's not going to be your happiness, your end all be all. Look at all these rich celebrities, these millionaires, billionaires. Even Elon Musk just tweeted, I thought being rich would make you happy or something along those lines. Even he's not happy. He's the richest man in the world. This is going to show you that you got to find your inner peace. Even all these musicians, all these entertainers, everybody wants to be an entertainer now because it's the cool thing to do. It's the cool thing to do. But what happened to the real thing to do? What happened to inspiring people? And not in a negative way. What happened to that? This is why I champion Cole so much, tribe. It's because he gives us a different perspective of happiness and peace and success without being egotistical and braggadocious and money hungry and attention seeking. He gets more love than any rapper, on par with any rapper out there, and he don't need to look the part. He don't have to play the part. That's inner peace. That's happiness. That's the difference that I'm talking about. That's why I resonate with Cole so much, because I am there. You don't have to be there. Y'all don't have to attack me because I'm there, and I'm not attacking y'all for being there. But there is a level that you will reach in your life of maturity and wisdom and intelligence that you'll start to see through so much shit that blinds us and blinds our youth. And you wonder why the world is the way it is, and the hood is the way it is, and the country is the way it is. Because we've been brainwashed and put under all different types of propaganda and spells to make people think, to make us think we have to behave and act a certain way and chase certain things. Now let's go into this, because I want to stay in this vein. I love how everything stays in the same pocket. Shout out to the 58 people tuned in with me. Please make sure y'all click that like button. Let's try to get it to 100. I just want to give y'all real talk and real game. Y'all don't have to believe me. You know what I'm saying? Let me switch this over here and drop some gems on niggas. Y'all don't have to believe me. Y'all don't have to tie it in with the cold thing, but it all ties into me. Because once a man reaches a certain level of understanding himself, I can't be broken. Nothing you can say about me will tear me down and make me feel less than where I am in life and how I feel about life. You can call me corny all you want. I'm corny. I embrace it. From here on out, I embrace being corny. Thank you. If that means I'm different than what's the in crowd, then I love being corny. Throw me in a fucking pot and pop it and turn fucking popcorn around this motherfucker. Corn on the cob, corn in the cup, elotes and all that. I'm just saying, like, we gotta open our eyes as a culture and a community, and that's what I hope to do with these type of streams. We can have our fun, we can troll, we can talk about the popular things in life, but I made a point to make sure that Context Matters in 2026 was different than Context Matters in 2025. Has the same elements in the same direction, but I want to make sure we are talking about things that actually matter. Or if they don't really matter, we find a way to make them matter and tie into our culture. That's what Context Matters is about.
You are now watching Context Matters.
That's what I want. So if you fuck with that, hit the like button. But let me go ahead and play this. This is a mature level of conversation right now. The elevated level of thinking. These are the type of questions that you got to ask yourself when you get older.
5 babies, where are you?
Shout out to California Niche for saying great content. I appreciate you. It's what it's about. I just want to open our eyes, even if it's trolling with the cold thing and y'all trolling me. I wanted to open our eyes. Hey, we got a super chat. Yeah. My boy Square Biz 5838 says, shout out my Illinois brethren. You see me repping. I got my socks hat on. They don't make Rockford hats, but I wish they did. I sure would have that on. But shout out to my Midwest brethren, my Illinois family. I appreciate the $5. It goes a long way. I appreciate it. That just shows that you engaged and you fucking with me. Thanks for tuning in, Square Biz. Sure appreciate you, gang. But yeah, I just want to have these good convos. So this is the type of shit I be wanting to think about. I seen this video, I saved it, and it ties into everything we saying. What more do you strive for in life? Quit saying money. I want to be rich and famous. That shit is old now. Shit is old and watered down. Let's see what she had to say.
1986 babies? Anyone in their 40s? Anyone just turned 40? Anyone about to turn 40?
And we can add this to anybody who's in their late 20s about to turn 30. We can say it to you too, because we got to start opening our minds up earlier in life and not waiting till we're older. I changed the way I started thinking at 25. I'm not here to brag on myself for waking up early. But at 25, I changed the way I was eating. I changed my trajectory of what I wanted to do for music. I changed my mindset. I changed my compassion levels. I changed how nice I am to humans, how nice I am to animals. Everything changed when I turned 25. It's metanoia. The journey of changing one's heart, mind, self, or way of life resulting from spiritual... Wait, hold on. I forgot the definition. I have to think. It's been a minute since I've said it. But it was a time in my life. That's why metanoia was such a big thing for me. And I'm going to start putting that on merch. And I'm going to start talking about that more. But look up the word metanoia. Matter of fact, I'll look it up real quick while we in this pocket. At 25, I changed the way I thought. And you can too. You can too. It's life changing. And we got to start doing that earlier in life. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to wait until something tragic happens in our life. Metanoia is a Greek term meaning a change of mind or transformative change of heart, representing a fundamental reorientation of one's life and perspective. That's a different type of definition that I've heard before, but shout out to AI for giving it to me that way. In the Bible, it signifies true repentance, a turning away from sin towards God rather than just remorse. It implies higher consciousness, often described as putting on the mind of Christ. Now, I'm not religious, so I'm not going to tie it to Christianity myself, but a change of one's life resulting from penitence or spiritual conversion. That's the one I was trying to give y'all. A change in one's life. This happened to me at 25, which is the reason why I was going to drop an album called Metanoia, just because it resonated with me. There was a time in my life where I changed drastically, and that's why I like this one right here. A change of mind or transformative change of heart, representing a fundamental reorientation of one's life and perspective. My perspective changed completely. And we should be able to do that earlier. So let me get back to what she was saying. Late 20s, we need to start opening our minds up a little bit more and think about our future, because at 37, I'm not where I want to be. I'm going to keep it a bean with y'all. I'm not 100% where I want to be financially. Hell, probably not even mentally. Maturity, yes. But there's some things in life that if I would have prepped and thought about earlier, or had been put in front of me earlier, I would have been able to act and think differently. It might have been in a different position in my life right now. So we need to do this earlier. But let me finish what she's saying.
Yeah, so this is for us. Got a quick question. At this stage in your life,
why you delete that? Let it rock, babe.
Say your top priority is. So where you are now, what is your top priority right now? No, it doesn't have to be all good and fairy like. What is your actual top priority right now? This is a no judgment zone, and there is no right or wrong answer, by the way. See this as a little research moment. So I'll go first. Reducing my stress, slowing down, calm, no chaos.
Listen to what she's saying.
Regulated nervous system. And like, I just want to build a life that doesn't keep my body in fight or flight.
Nothing to do with money or success.
But I want to hear from you. At this stage in your life, what is your top priority now? You lot been heavy with me on this.
Damn, babe. Why you gotta delete? Stet gives women confidence. I don't give women confidence. Why you gotta be a hater? I don't give you confidence. Damn. Yeah, the other thing maybe, but you ain't gotta delete everything. Get your ass back. Get your ass back. I give women confidence. Let me have my moment. Shit. You feel me? I built these bitches up. Let me get my moment, man. I'm built a bitch. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for me, a lot of these women wouldn't be in positions they in. Let me have my moment. She gonna hate me, y'all. I'm trolling. But let me let her finish.
Journey. So, yeah, I like little things like this. I want to compare notes. 1985 babies.
All right, so pretty much what she's saying. Let me see if she gave more context in the description. She said, at this stage in life, what would you say your top priority is? As you start to get older, you start to realize certain things take precedence over others. Other things become more important than others. Where money is not the end all be all. Fame and success is one thing you damn near want to run from. When you want inner peace, you know what I'm saying? You want, I think I'm Trey Songz. That's funny. I'm just letting him sit in the corner for 5 minutes. Stet X. Y'all funny. Reducing stress is very expensive. Excuse me. It is, but it depends on what you let stress you out. But as you start to get older in life, you realize chasing fame and chasing clout and attention. My dumb ass got hiccups. As you get older, you realize chasing fame and chasing clout is not really what's going to bring you peace. Now, if you get it when you're young and you need to maintain it because that's your career path in life, that's different. But as you start to get older, you got to start to think about what those top priorities need to be. Is it family? Is it land? Is it financial freedom? Is it a safe, comfortable career? Is it setting up for retirement? You got to start to think about the things that come when you get older in life. And the sooner that you do that, the better off that you're going to be. And I always say, just start with changing your mindset about what you consume. Consumerism is the number one leading cause to the reason why people have mental health issues. What you consume is what you become. Period, point blank. What your algorithm is what you ultimately end up being and putting out back into the world. There's not many people that can have something put in front of their face. Oh, this is just the human build. There's not many people that can have something put in front of their face for continuous amounts of time and long periods of time and still act differently than what they see. Everyone is a product of their environment to some extent. You're a product of your job's environment. You're a product of your hood's environment. You're a product of your family's environment. You're a product of your college environment. You're a product of your whatever. You are a product of it. So that you are what you surround yourself with. So I always tell people consumerism is important. It's one of the first steps to actually changing the way you think in life. If you know your life is not going down the right path or you having negative things coming, you have to change what you consume. Your music is key. Changing what you consume musically is way more important than you think. Changing the type of movies you watch. Changing the way you dress and what your materialisticness. Changing certain priorities, getting more exercise, being more in tune with the earth, being more in tune with love and compassion. Those things and seeing different things. Now we live in an age of social media where your timeline controls the way you feel for the day. We got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable in order to change who we want to be. So as you get older, you got to prioritize your age and your health. You got to change the way you eat. Let me tell you, that's probably one of the most important. Probably one or two most important things you can ever do in your life is changing the way you eat. What you are, what you eat is so fucking true to the highest level. You are what you put in your body. You are what you put in your body. Whatever you end up eating ends up coming through you one way or the other. You'd be surprised in this day and age, in this country, what we eat and consume and ingest ends up altering our mindset way more than you could even imagine. Way more than you can even imagine. And we're in such, like Seven said, we have definitely got to stick together. We're so divisive because everything is predicated on competition. Who's better than the other? Who has more than the other? Especially in our community. Crabs in a barrel mentality is real. But at the end of the day, you need money to survive. I see your point, Logo Secret. He said there's a lot of people that's in tune with the earth that's homeless. Yes, but education comes with that. I'm not saying do all these things and don't educate yourself. If you're a smart enough individual, you should never end up becoming homeless. Unless you're addicted to drugs. But then again, being smart knows that you need to be able to stop your vices or know when enough's enough. If you educate yourself in life and become intelligent, you will prevent a lot of frivolous mistakes that you come across in your life. If you're smart, if you're an intellectual person who's educated, has got some type of schooling, you should be able to find some type of job to at least keep you afloat enough to, even if you living in a fucking trailer, you're not homeless, is my point. So that just goes to show you how important education is. If you're intelligent enough and you're educated enough, you will know that these drugs are going to be the downfall of my mentality. My momentary times of fun and acting out and going crazy and wilding out as a youth are going to set me back in my future. That comes with education. I shouldn't do this drug because it's going to lead me to do more drugs. Or I shouldn't do this drug because I'm going to get strung out on this shit and then I end up being a junkie and then end up being homeless. So we have to wisen up. And when we got music like NBA Youngboy out here that's brainwashing the youth and the type of weird music that Vinny listened to, that shit is persuading people to do things that they shouldn't be doing. Drugs, alcohol, eating bad, fucking bitches without condoms, having babies outside of relationships. I'm not gonna say wedlock, but outside of relationships, STDs, constantly being in competition with your neighbor. These type of things we gotta be better at, tribe. And it all starts with us. You know what I'm saying? It all starts with us, and it makes everybody want to be on this rat race to financial freedom, rightfully so, because money will honestly be the reason why you're able to escape some of these rat races that they put us in naturally. But it's not the end all be all. Unless you got this right, you ain't gonna get this right. It's very rare that happens. Or if you're gonna get this right, it's gonna be coming in a negative way. When people go through trauma, their rational mind gets damaged. Facts. I can see trauma doing that too. But again, it takes a strong-minded individual to deal with trauma, but know that you can't stay in trauma. Trauma happens. The worst that anything can happen to anybody, I think, in life is losing a loved one. Losing a loved one is probably one of the most traumatic things that can happen to most people, I'm assuming. And it puts you in a state of trauma where things will never get better. It feels like things will never get better, but you have to realize that in time, things will. The world will continue to move on. So we can't have the victim mentality constantly. You can have your moments, you can have your times, but you have to understand when you're spiraling. And that goes to having a good core or a good tribe around you to help you bring you out of those moments. Everybody's entitled to them. Childhood trauma as well. But eventually, you got to find a way to work yourself out of those things to become a better individual. And it starts with what you consume for content, because we're in a content-based society. What you consume on the internet, who you associate with, and what you eating. Those three things are the most important right now to allow you to open that pineal gland and think differently. Be a black sheep. Embrace the unknown. Embrace being different. It's way more important than you can ever imagine. I don't want to bring this topic up. It's too long-winded. We don't need to talk about that one. Because if we being real, we can bring this up real quick. If we being real, this is what we dealing with on our horizon, tribe. If you don't figure it out now, you ain't never gonna figure it out, because we are pretty much doomed.
And actually, my prediction is in the benign scenario of the future that the robots will actually make so many robots and AI that they will actually saturate all human needs. Meaning you won't be able to even think of something to ask the robot for at a certain point. There will be such an abundance of goods and services, because my prediction is there'll be more robots than people. So,
but how do you then have human purpose in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's perfect, but it is a necessary. You can't have both. You can't have work that has to be done and amazing abundance for all.
And then the big political and economic question of the 21st century will be, what do we need humans for? Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer?
Population control is upon us, tribe. This could go into Stetspiracies, which I will actually bring up next week. We have some Stetspiracies in relation to the elite and Jeffrey Epstein and blood rituals and sacrifices and all that good stuff. That the fuck? My mouse won't. What the fuck? My mouse just stopped working, tribe. Which is not good, because then I won't be able to do nothing, to close nothing, to end no streams and nothing. That's crazy. That's crazy that we talking about robots and then my mouse just stopped working. I don't think that's it. Ain't that a bitch? I don't even know. I lost my damn train of thought because my mouse stopped working, which makes me realize how the fuck am I going to end the stream? But anyway, yeah, we at a point now where humans ain't even gonna be important anymore. So what is your value? What is your level of success as a human? Because money ain't gonna be it. There's gonna be universal income. We're gonna have robots running the world. We're gonna have all kind of shit going on to where whatever you bring to the earth ain't gonna matter unless it's something positive, because it's gonna be pure chaos coming. Pure chaos. That shit's still working, but the mouse just stopped working. That's really weird. And why is Bluetooth blinking? Hold on, y'all just gonna deal with this with me. Shit, we gonna figure it out. But I definitely don't have a mouse to connect to it though. But yeah, nonetheless, I can't even pull up the motherfucking goddamn topics. How do you minimize a window on your keyboard? Tribe, do y'all know how to do that? I can tab through it, maybe. Let me see.
I ruined the plane. Suck ass up. Fucking sucker.
I guess I'm gonna just have to mute that for now. I don't know what the fuck is going on. My shit just went AWOL. I had to turn it up over here just to see. All right, well, we're going to have to end up ending the stream for a second, in a second, if I can figure out how to do so. All right, well, shit, shout out to my chat. I was about to talk about a few more things, but that's not going to work. What the fuck? Oh, maybe. You know what I didn't even realize? I think this motherfucker needs to charge. Nah. Yeah, it has to, right? I don't even have a USB. Babe, bring me your computer charger. I mean your phone charger. Cause maybe my mouse just died. Anyway, I know y'all can hear me even though my mouse ain't working. But yeah, man, look, I'm just gonna wrap all that up and just pretty much say we have to mentally mature a little bit, tribe. And it goes all the way back to the first topic of the J. Cole shit, to Super Bowl, to everything that we've covered. And the mouse just stopped working. I don't know if you heard me, but
I was watching.
It just froze.
Does it take this cord?
I think so. I hope so. Shit. It does take this cord, but it's blinking, so I'm assuming that's what it has to be doing. I'm about to get off for a second and eat. I'm hungry than a bitch.
Maybe is there like a switch?
There's an on-off, Bluetooth, USB. All right, I think my mouse was just dead. Okay, let me get out before that shit freeze up on me completely. Okay. We back. All right, let's just end on a different note. So we not ending on this such a dark note or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, just to summarize that real quick. Shout out to my tribe. Appreciate y'all. Stop talking shit. They hear you. Oh, they hear you. You sure right. Talk about the world. Then my my shit just froze up. But nonetheless, yeah, man, we just gotta think differently. I'm all big on being a black sheep, being corny, whatever you want to call it. But we are in desperate times of revolution, for lack of better words, because they controlling everything. They about to take us out, wipe us out. We got Stetspiracies to talk about, like I said, about the Epstein files, the Illuminati, the elitists, the people who run the world, where they told you Jay-Z and Beyonce told you a decade ago that the only way out was making a shit ton of money so that you're part of that elite and you'll be able to escape shit when shit hits the fan. And if we not wisening up now and we being distracted by bullshit ass rap, which is why I'm so big on J. Cole, because he's giving you something to think about It's mature music with education value to it. I don't consume really much of anything that kind of dumbs down that. Unfortunately, I have to be able to do this. But for the most part, in my day-to-day life, I try to really keep my mind at peace, tribe. And I preach that to everybody out there to do the same thing. Just keep your mind at peace. And don't be brainwashed by all this consumerism we got going on. Because clout and attention is the most dangerous drug. Speaking of which, y'all seen what's been going on with Glorilla and her sister? I will ask that. Let me see if I can pull it up since now my shit's working. And since we here now, we done already done over 3 hours. Well, fuck it. Let me pull this up real quick. I guess my shit was just dead. Y'all been seeing what's going on with Glorilla and her sister, man? Glorilla and Brorilla. That's comedy. So look, the reason why I just brought that up real quick though is because it's making me really think. I think I'm nothing listening to Cole Logo Secret. You a hater. What this makes me think of, bro, is just crabs in a barrel mentality. I don't get why, as someone's sister, that you would actually. I guess I can't pull it up. Well, I guess I could, but it's so many different clips. I think my point to the Glorilla situation is we are really lost as a society. It just all ties in together that you would get on the internet and be so entitled to expose your sister for thinking that, I mean, even if you feel like you're entitled to something as a family member, to get on the line and paint them out to be a certain way and be negative, like, what do you think is going to come from that? Like, what do you think is going to come from exposing your rich sister? You think she now all of a sudden you getting online on TMZ and doing live streams and you trying to do interviews exposing your sister, bringing up family issues and talking about her past, that's going to reunite you guys together and you are going to receive some money from her? Or like the fact that people do, this is what I'm talking about earlier. The things that people do for money nowadays is absolutely disgusting. There is no decorum for anything that people do. All it is now is, what have you done for me? How much can I get off you? Let me be clout driven. Let me get more attention. Let me try to be popular. Now she's on this high. Her sister's on this high of thinking people actually give a fuck about what she has to say. Don't nobody care. That's the definition of here today, gone tomorrow. The Glorilla, Brorilla situation is crazy because her sister don't have a talent she's trying to do nothing for or nothing. And she doing, look at all this shit. I don't even know where to begin. On this goddamn ingrown hair bumps pissing me off. Do you think Brorilla would have helped if she was in a better position? What do you mean by that? She just going off the Richter. Oh, shit is muted.
Ain't obligated. Fuck out of here. She obligated for show, for shit show.
That shit going on.
And I ain't gonna get touched. I'm still in the trenches, and I ain't gonna get touched on no day.
She like at least two to get some.
I ain't gonna get two. Ain't get shit. Whatever hoe saying that, man, fuck that hoe too, and her kids.
This is what we do.
Fuck you and the kids, hoe. Fuck.
Look, and all her friends are around because she on live because she got some attention right now. She got some popularity. But this is what you do to your family. This is what I'm saying. The bar is set so low, tribe. Mentally, you can tell she's not all the way there. Glorilla even made a video saying that she had to be checked into a hospital or something, or that she should be checked into a hospital. I don't know if this is the one. Let me see.
Between your children.
I hate it. I really hate it. She called me
Easy, round body, nasty wig hoe. Like, this her texting my mama, right? Mad because don't nobody want to give her no free money.
When the well runs dry and there's nothing left to do, tribe, do you resort to exposing and I don't even really call it exposing, because is she entitled? Let me ask y'all that. Let me just ask y'all. Do you feel like if somebody in your family reaches a certain level of success financially, that they're entitled to supporting you or helping you? She trying to steal the limelight, I think. She got on a Jurassic Park tee. The Memphis accents are disgusting. So I'm saying, like, do we really think that our family, like, if I'm trying to think, if my sister was to get super rich, forget the fame. If she was to get super rich, making millions of dollars, would I think she's expected to help me out, support me, or help me out? Those are actually different. Helping you out and looking out for you every once in a while is different than actually like supporting you to where you don't have to do shit in life, but just be a handout. I would never expect my sister to just take care of me and expect me not to do anything, to still be in the trenches doing nothing, just drinking, smoking, kicking it all day, and just because I have a rich sister, I don't have to do nothing with my life. No, I would not expect her to do that. But there is a part of me that as well that would think that your blood, your immediate blood, not distant cousins and all that, your immediate blood should have some type of care for your well-being. Like, I feel like I would expect is a big word though. I would think that my sister would be inclined to look out for me financially here and there, or do little things to help me better my situation. So yes and no. Would I ever go to the internet and expose her for it, or call her out on the internet? Fuck no. Fuck no. But look, Harry, he said Brorilla was better off quietly becoming a streamer than to diss her sister. 100%, but she's using the clout and attention from her sister's name to become somebody who wants to stream now. And it's like, it's watered down. Streaming's watered down. People who stream now are doing it trying to base off the clout from their sister. But let me just finish what I'm saying. I don't think any family member is obligated to support or take care of their other family member, but I think it is the right thing to do. I think it is the right thing to do, especially when you have money that transcends generations. That's the whole point of when you make all that money, is like, I'm trying to make generational wealth. Yeah, you want to help the current generation and you want to help your next generation. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you have bad blood between that family member, you can't expect them to necessarily want to just take care of you or need to think that they're going to give you a handout. But I would think that most family members would want to look out for their loved ones to some extent, unless you just a low life. If you smoking it up, if you ain't doing shit with it, but just buying designer clothes and flossing in the hood and just not being proactive with what I have and the opportunity that I've been able to open the door for you, that's different. It'd be different if Brorilla, which is crazy, was coming on stream like, yeah, man, I've been trying to get in contact with my sister. I'm trying to start my own career. I'm trying to get my streaming going. I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z. I asked for a little bit of help. She can't help me. But just getting on there begging for money looks crazy. That looks crazy to me. I would never do that, even if it's a family who has bad blood or whatever you want to say. I would never get on there for the sake of my behalf and down my loved one because they're not doing something that they're technically not obligated to do. Would I want them to? Do I feel like they should? Should they feel like they should? Yes. But again, money is the root of all evil. Money will destroy a loved one's relationship, a family member's relationship, a child with a mother, a brother with a sister. Money will literally destroy every relationship you can think of. No relationship is off limits unless you are mentally stable enough to know money is not the end all be all. I, even myself, in my past 12 years of this mental elevation, have had financial issues with loved ones and friends, and shit will break you the fuck up. Money will break shit the fuck up, because when you're struggling and somebody's doing good and they either owe you some money, or you feel like, damn, like I did X, Y, and Z in your life, or did X, Y, and Z to help you out, and you can't uplift me, you will fucking crash out. And it's not the right thing to do, but that's what money will do, because my money in this country has been prioritized as like the end all be all. It's the end all be all in this country. It's the have and have nots. And it will cause families to crash on this shit, on each other, and spiral all the way out. Jay Chills, what's the word, boy? It's got to be a play. No, it ain't. I don't think it's a play. I like the way Glorilla's handling it. She's handling it lightly and more in a fun trolling manner instead of going back. I don't really see them. I haven't seen everything, but I don't see them trying to destroy each other's character and like go off the hinges with it. And like, you know, I hope that it's at a point where they can still reconcile and do better. But that just goes to show you, man, Glorilla elevated up. She's in a different mindset, different tax bracket, a different mental space, I feel like, based off her response. And her sister or her brother or Brorilla, whatever you want to call her, you could tell she's still in that same mindset. Lost in the sauce, money hungry. She's barely working or not getting no income. She done tattooed her whole face. She's a lost soul. And this is where this music comes into play. I bet she listened to NBA Youngboy. I bet she listened to all that type of shit. She follows all those trends. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I say educating our youth and our younger generation. I don't know how old she is, but she can't be in her 30s if she's the younger sister. We got to be better. We got to be better. Logo Seeker said, I don't care if they have a great plan or not. Take care of you and wait till I'm ready to give out the blessings. Yeah, yes, I can see that. You got to hustle for your own and hope that, you know, in turn. But then at the same time, when you down bad and you don't have nothing, all bets is out the window when you need help. All bets is out the window when you need help, and you feel like this is your sister. You're supposed to not expect her to help you, but like, I'm trying, I'm hustling. Sometimes things just don't work out. Can you help me out a little bit? And if it falls on deaf ears, so-and-so, it just caused her to crash. I don't think that's the right thing for sure. She should have been on camera. She got personality for sure. I haven't watched everything, but she reminds me of Finesse 2 times. Pretty much the same type of person. That same crazy accent, cussing crazy, acting crazy, speaking funny. She has personality. Now, what you gonna do with it? That's really what it comes down to. What's it gonna do with it? But I'm not saying to that point, I'm not saying that Glorilla is obligated to do nothing. But should she? Yes. Should she? Yes. Especially when it's money that's not going to hurt her. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to hurt her to give $5,000. She's not obligated. It's not something that has to happen. But if $5,000 from Glorilla will help her sister, even love-hate relationship and family members, we all know as family members we have love-hate relationships with each other, right? But love should always outweigh money, in my opinion. You can fight about money, have issues, go back and forth, but when it comes down to it, my well-being should be the most important thing. And if $5,000 is going to get you out of this bad situation, now if you like the crackhead of the family and you continue to fuck over money, are you stealing from family members? No. Don't expect nothing. If you ain't doing nothing for yourself but drinking and smoking, no, don't expect a handout. But if you are actually trying, this is where there's a thin line. If you are actually trying, and $5,000 from your loved one will change the trajectory of what you currently got going on, or pay your rent to keep you from getting evicted, or get you off the street or put some food in your kid's mouths, and you got a family member that got a shit ton of money, millions of dollars, and it won't hurt their pockets or their well-being to help you out, then there is some type of like, come on, man, you gonna prioritize these dollars over our love? That's the part that I don't know Glow finances, but all we can go by is what we see. And if you got a big record deal and you got endorsements and you Grammy nominated and you got all this shit you got going on, you should be able to give a couple grand if your sister is doing bad. I don't know. I'm torn. Tribe. And I'm getting sleepy. So we gonna wind down. She just gave Glow another 2 years to stay on top, though. Her being funny gonna help Glow career for the better. They're gonna link back up just at war right now. That's what I'm saying. That's what I feel like. But eventually you can cross the line in war. You can cross the line in war to the point where there is no coming back. Once you start saying certain things and exposing certain things and putting personal business out there and trying to diminish somebody's character, and in this case, like we talked about with the beef with Drake and Dot, you want to diminish who I am as your sister and expose secrets and post hidden videos and text messages, eventually there's no coming back from certain shit. No matter how long we've been together, no matter how much you my family, until we get to that deathbed, there may not be no coming back. Now, I'm always an advocate of being a bigger person and not letting it get to that point. But man, if you just gonna go off the hinges and wild out on me and do all this for the public consumption, then what respect do I need to have for you as my sister if you're not treating me like your brother? You know what I mean? There is a line that you have to cross. Logo Secret said, how you torn? Damn, you on my bumper tonight, Logo. God damn, nigga. You supposed to be, you normally on my side, gang. What the fuck? He said, how you torn about somebody else's money? I'm just torn about the deciding factor. I'm torn about, you know, do you help somebody just because they're family? You know, should you feel bad about not helping them? That's where I'm torn. That's the part that's torn, because at the end of the day, blood is blood. You can't pick your family members, though. That's another thing. You can't pick who your family members. Yes, she's entitled to my money. My money is her money. Her money is my money. We are one. We are a unit. You know what I mean? And she's not even my blood. So, but I think that's different. We formed a union, whereas siblings is a little bit different. Jay Chill says, yeah, it is. I think they both holding back. So they both women. So, you know, they love receipts. Nothing women can forgive if it's real love there. And I hope so. I hope that they not letting that almighty evil ass dollar come between what they have or being family, $2,500 or whatever it is. Shout out to Tory Lanez. He sent her $2,500. I don't know what the point of that was, but you know, we hate to see each other down bad unless you hate a person. So hopefully they don't really hate each other and they end up tying it back up. But all right, I'm gonna end with one last thing. I did an extra hour and a half that I planned. It's already midnight again here on the Central Time Zone, 1 a.m. on the East Coast, 10 p.m. on the West Side. I appreciate everybody who sticked with me this long, this late. This is a Monday night. I don't stream on Monday nights. This is different for me. As y'all know, Context Matters is every Sunday. So make sure y'all pop out on Sundays going forward. We just missed Sunday because of Super Bowl. Make sure y'all pop out. I'm happy with myself. Let me give myself some kudos. This is my 4th Context Matters stream in a row without missing. Win, lose, or draw, numbers high, numbers low, I'm going to be present. As long as I got something that's worthy of talking about or that I know I can elaborate on, y'all will see me. Hopefully the week stay good and active with things that we can talk about that are meaningful and not just entertainment based, and that I can actually get on here and communicate with y'all. But every Sunday, Context Matters is live. Every Wednesday, isn't it Wednesday? Yeah, every Wednesday is Third Law. I did my first Third Law stream last week where it's reactionary. Speaking of which, make sure y'all send me some videos to react to this week. I have some stuff that I do want to react to, but if y'all send me something that's better, I will react to it live on Third Law on Wednesday. 8:15 p.m. is my times that I will be going live. 815 from my hometown. Speaking of which, let me take this dropping gems off. We ain't dropping gems no more. Well, I'm always dropping gems, but 815 for my hometown. So we will go live at 8:15 every time on Sunday night for Context Matters, 8:15 p.m. Central Time for Third Law on Wednesdays. We just try and do something different. Shout out to Uncle Biscuit. He said we growing for show. We trying. You know what I'm saying? We try to do something a little different. 2026 going to go a different trajectory. And I appreciate y'all tuning in. We going to end on something kind of crazy, which could save for a Third Law reaction stream. But actually, I am going to reaction stream, and I'm going to get my bitch ass out the paint. That's what I'm going to do. So we going to save that then to make y'all pop out on Wednesday for a little reaction vibe. But yeah, let me tap in with my chat real quick before we get out of here. I think we had like 60-some likes. Am I still streaming? I am still streaming. Yeah, I'm still streaming. We had 60-some likes. Let's make sure we can get to 100. We've had over 50 people in here the whole time. So I don't know if they're just haters or they just don't know how to click the like button. But give this bitch a thumbs up for me one time. Let's make sure we can get to 100 likes. Come back, drop some comments. I appreciate everybody for being active in the chat and having some good conversation tonight. I feel like we touched on a lot of big points, a lot of points y'all got on my bumper about. A lot of points y'all gave me pushback, which is what I want. But nonetheless, we enjoyed ourselves. And we will do, you said, Tony Tone said, can I have my girl call in? We will do call-ins. We're going to bring back Fair to Say on next Sunday. I was going to do it tonight. I got to make sure that the Google Voice number is good and still active. They was talking about canceling my shit because we ain't used it in a minute. So I'm going to make sure Google Voice is back active. We're going to bring back Fair to Say where y'all can call in. We can chop it up live with the people, let y'all voices be heard. I know, like I said, I keep always telling y'all that I want this to be an interactive stream. So we're going to try to just keep getting better and better as we go in 2026. 4 Context Matter streams in. I haven't missed a week. I'm happy about that. Third Law is back now. We back on Wednesday for Third Law. We're going to do a J. Cole stream this week. Y'all make sure y'all tune into that. And yeah, man, we're going to keep kicking up dust the way we do what we do. Context Matters episode 36 tonight. Dang, we getting up there, huh? We getting up there. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I have enjoyed myself. As y'all know, the outro music is on. So we are going to kick up out of here. Shout out to my tribe, Logo Secret, Tony Tone, Uncle Biscuit, everybody who stayed in late. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Like Biscuit said, 7, I appreciate you popping in and out. We holding it down, man. You know we do what we do. We do it well. Until next time, until episode 37 on Sunday, until episode 12 of Third Law on Wednesday, it's been real. I love y'all to death. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. But I got to do it like this, like this, like this. Yeah. Main screen, Context Matters, episode 36 until episode 37. Send me some topics. We're going to keep it rocking. I love y'all. Holla.